Good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, my beautiful people. Another beautiful day, another blessed day, another day will foretell the Almighty, the Creator. We always bring all that this universe, where they hold the universe together. We tell and thank you for another day, for another chance, for come back again with another edition of Social Media Review. So me people them, I tell una all thank you for joining me, una share, una call una people them, let we can talk, and every day, every week, una they can with we. So we tell God thank you for una, because without una we not get any VOS, because this is the voice of Sierra Leone. This is the voice of Sierra Leone platform that is here for let we express with views, let we come together, let we see how we go solve the problem, and we talk about issues that are happening on social media about we country, and see what's in the good, the bad, and the ugly. We talk about now VOS. And today, December 13, 2020, I get with me my co-host, Mr. Shilon, lawyer Shilon, a practicing attorney, defense attorney in the United States. So he there with me for lending your voice, for giving you sense, for let all try for put the country in business go before. We there for nation first now VOS. It's about nation. It's about country. It's about progressive ideas. That's what we're trying to share and try for make we all come to the center for try for push we country and for get the change where we deserve. So I'm gonna make Mr. Shilon tell you I do, but the topic they can't talk. We get beaucoup topic all the talk. So we call on today the trending topics on social media in Sierra Leone. Waiting people in the talk about, waiting they happen at the social media, waiting they concern people them. Now then thing and they we they talk about today, and we choose a handful of them and we go see them as we go along. So now stay tuned, now join the conversation. Feel free to call the number, then go they scroll down, and we can talk about salon business. Because here the mission is Sierra Leone, and the mission is not about parties, but the mission. It is okay to belong to a party. It is okay to support your party. It is okay to love your party. But when it comes to the benefit of Sierra Leone, we all know they one side, but we go agree say Sierra Leone now in the mission. Sierra Leone for be force, now we heart and we mind. So that make Mr. Shilon tell now I do, then let we talk on the issues them where they trend today. Now we environment and we community on social media. Mr. Shilon, sir, thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Nice for being with you again today. Another Sunday. So I hope we will get a very lively and interesting discussion as we normally try for do. And you know, this now program where you get, even though we're not the host, but when I say the participation, I can call in. The number for calling will be projected on the screen. So, and everybody gets chance for calling and make comments or ask questions. So I hope at the end of the program, we will end up learn from each other, which now is sole aim with the try for reach now. This with everything is based on what is good or what we think is good for Salone, not what is good for any particular group or particular party, because Sierra Leone is our primary interest. So this program, more or less, they encourage people for come up with ideas and proposals. So we hope we're going to enjoy the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shilon. As usual, we get for talk force every day. This thing what they call coronavirus, see COVID-19. Then now we miss. It's still then we miss. It's still the kill. It's still the kill. It's still the kill. The number then they go up, people and they die, especially in the community out there, especially the United States of America. So I want to send condolences to some family them who don't lost their loved ones during this week, and coronavirus don't kill some of them, and some of them, you know, they don't come out in a coma, because as I be two particular ladies, the one if they don't they coma almost 2, they go 3 months, but they don't wake up from the coma, and you know, they try for rehabilitate now, and God only knows what thing get for happen. So they send condolences to the family and also to them family them. We dey pray for them. We dey pray for we sister them. We two sister them. We just come out in coma. We dey pray for them. Let God heal them. Let God give them, medicine for let them recover from the corona, because some people they're not weak. We get one of we sister we then call Madam Aisha Dean, to the Dean family and the Jallo family. We they say condolences to Una. Then Beran today in Maryland, it died of the virus. Corona is real. We all get for be responsible. We all get for take heed to this thing. We all get for try for do. We don't need people then for can't fend we right now. I know say it tough. I know say these are tough times, but we have to preserve ourselves. And one of the things, the responsible behavior for do, let we do waiting and tell we, let we try for make, because we don't know who that get corona. We don't know who that they carry corona. Person can use, he can left and there, you don't know, you can go down the street. So we try for preserve ourselves, but to we sister we die of corona, we say may God have mercy on his soul, and condolences to the families. And we dey pray for una all. We dey pray for una Safi Matami, Mrs. Keru. We dey pray for you. You and your sister them and your family them, your brother, they all. Let God comfort the family, the kids, and everything. Also, we lost another brother to me. He is a brother because he's a big brother to me, because as you all know, me mama and sister married to the late Justice Timbo, and Ajibu Jallo and Pekin in firstborn, we they call him small boy, Abubakar, himself died this week. Then Beram, he died this week in Maryland, and then Don Beram, may his soul rest in peace. We call him small boy. He was like, we grew up together, kind of, they were looking out for me. And, I say condolences to the Jallo, the Timbos, and all other people, the friends of this person. And another person also died again yesterday. A friend of mine, she's a nurse, her husband just passed away yesterday. Sylvanus Tipson, Genevieve, and to you and your children and the rest of the family and friends. I say to the Albert Academy, this guy here, Sylvanus, he was long, the big passed away a little bit, but he was part of the band of the Albert Academy, an alumni of the Albert Academy, school. And we pray for you, Genevieve, for strength, for peace, for comfort, and all them under where we don't know, but we don't die among we. We're sick among we. They pray for let God give medicine. And I also remember my honorary professor, who is my other co-host. We pray for himself, Kutubu Koma. We pray for himself, let God, revive him. He don't begin feel better of whatever he's going through. We say, thank you for that. Everybody gets a loved one. Everybody get who we care about. So if you are mourning, if you are hurting, if you are sick, we pray for you, because we are all family. God say pray for one another. We're praying for one another. The Bible say pray for one another. That's what we're doing. We care. We're praying. And some people are alone. Even me auntie and friend. Instead of dying in Os yesterday. The parts comping the night before. He said I wasn't feeling good. He say okay, can't go hospital. He say I go hospital in the morning. In the morning, my auntie text say, okay, I hope you feel better. Good night. He don't respond. Yesterday morning, 10 o'clock, he don't call. Then go to the house. Then go knock they don't die. And one thing, for they alone, na them country here, we they alone, we then we also one, but let they check on one another, because too many of our people are dying. Some people die alone, some people feel bad because the stress, all the stuff that's going on during this corona, we get for check on one another. That's why we have Zoom, we have FaceTime, we have WhatsApp. Let we check on one another, because people are going through stuff. We don't know what people are going through. This pandemic don't shake the world. It don't change the situation. It don't change the lives of the people. But God can say that teach we say in all things we get for. We not understand why this they happen. But this is a time we get for reflect. We get to reflect on what is happening and appreciate and embrace life and embrace every moment, because life is happening right now. No matter how bad you get and right now, just always remember somebody gets it. But another thing I noticed with this corona in Sierra Leone, they are telling us we get for wearing a mask. We tell God thank you. We get 74 people, 75 people. The number don't go up by one. 75 people they now get corona. 75 people don't die of corona in Sierra Leone, according to what they say. And we get 2 active cases. We tell God thank you, corona, not they kill people, like they kill Yanda, because some people they say corona not they na Freetown. Because if corona they na Freetown, people they not go people that don't die past dandy. We they see the one that where they make the rule. We they see them they make the rule. We see the first lady. We don't show a video one time where Samora Kamara they dance the party, but we see the first lady of Sierra Leone. Not to pick on her, but they are ahead because then they arrest the small people there on the streets. Then they give them fine $1,000, 1,000 leon, not for wear masks. But we see them in parties. We see them in gatherings. We see them in places. They are not abiding to the rule of NACOVAC. NACOVAC and the World Health Organization, then they go by, say, we try for make this sick gone, but then we have people in authority. We hear in NACOVAC, they say, even the people in authority, therefore sets the example. But yet we see people, and they out there, they're not doing this thing. They're not afraid of the thing, but yet they are holding the little people for taking their own little money and send outside the policeman themselves, they go outside for it. Because when you pay policeman 1,000, they go in at the office, they go to the government, they go back in their own pocket. So, all these things, we set the rules, but we don't want to follow. We want to lead, but we don't want to be followers. We don't want to be, abiding by the stuff. So we see them, and it is so not cool. We see videos of our leaders on both sides, APC and SLPP. We see them and people them that should set the example. We see how then they display lawlessness, because that's what I will call it, because we all get for abide, do this thing and let this thing go away and let people in life come back to normal, because maybe this is the new norm. I don't know, but corona is real and corona is killing. And one thing I asked the NACOVAC the other day, they were having a meeting. They say 6 people inbound passengers tested positive. So then we don't test at least 72 hours before they left their port of origin, then come inside Sierra Leone, then test them back, then say 6 people get the coronavirus. So we where they go now, we they care and go. So the people that where they una self can catch them, because we where they go, we get the coronavirus. Because if they don't test, because me ask the question, say, how people then go don't do the test, then they come back, they come back, they can test positive. So it's possible. So I don't know. But that's what they say. And that means say we where they go on vacation, we are taking it there, we are carriers to them, because we see say they're not they die better in Sierra Leone, corona less in Sierra Leone, corona control in Sierra Leone, although they're not they practice social distance, but we did by the grace of God, corona, in SALONE. So we tell God thank you for that. But let we abide, let we adhere to the laws, let we abide by the laws, and let we try to do the right thing. It is so easy to do the right thing, and it takes too much energy to do the wrong thing. So, Mr. Shilon, I pass on to you, sir. Thank you.
Well, as far as the corona situation is concerned, the problem, there is problem at all levels, because the ordinary people then be able to explain why they're not able to comply. One, the access to gloves is not, gloves are not easily available. And if then they're not too free. And since unemployment is so high, people are not able to afford, mask. So the thing is, I wish they can implement a policy whereby the government can give people a mask, and I'm sure international organizations will not mind giving us free masks, or we in turn can give the people them and try to encourage them. Because the most we can do, there are certain things you can't force people to do, but you can encourage them for doing. And the way you go encourage them for doing it by educating them. By educating them, not necessarily you get to go put them in a classroom. You therefore just get some common sense, practical way of explaining things to people them, so you go left in the mind. So because if you just force them, they don't know why, then go still not do what you want them to do. So main thing is Of course, naturally, for finding people in 1,000 leones, even though not small money, but most people are not to get that kind of money a whole day in Australia, most of the population. So I don't think find like a sensible, fair, just way for deal with that. They're not for find people. And besides, the way when they apply the non-compliance or where people are not comply, is so arbitrary, is so wide. Now, an officer could just decide for say, well, you know, wear a mask. And if they arrest you, you get to pay 1,000 leon. And like Ms. Fadima say, you have 1,000 leon, the way you do, or you pay. And not do nothing for that person, they don't do nothing for the government. So now just a waste of time, now a waste of the police officer in time, except for the 1,000 leon we go get. And they encourage police officers to harass people because the police officer will go out on a daily basis and say, well, if I today I go make 20,000 leons by just shaking down 20 people. So when we would make laws, for make not only get effects, but make it get the result what we desire. So this corona, I know say because we know they die like in the West, we'll not take them too seriously. But that not then say the one day when are the higher ups, because we get for live by example. So we get for lead by example. So now how we do things, where people in see we, now ain't give with that authority they foretell them, say that they do wrong thing. So it can't just be a policy of do as I say, not as I do. I do wrong things, I know say wrong. You can't tell people and say no smoke, but you just smoke. So if you want to encourage people from smoking or discourage people from smoking, you will get for stop smoking, even if you're not possible to smoke, not smoke in the public, not smoke who people will see you. So for the talk of corona and masking and social distancing, we for be mindful of not showing up in public places without a mask. We for be careful of showing up in public places, holding hands, no social distances, unless like now your partner or your immediate family. We for be mindful of not hugging. We safe what we see we safe, you know, because this is not the thing and this is what corona they do. Corona does change way of life mostly around the world. And some of them, so when you see a company, you gladly who can safe, well, then say, not do that, keep your distance. So not to just we no more. So we strongly encourage we leader them. Please be mindful when you go on a social function, get you proper equipment and keep your distance from other people then. So you get a moral authority therefore tell people and say, hey, in fact, if you can help it, not appear in public places unless you have to. But because this corona is a deadly disease, we are very lucky, but we can't take anything for granted because we're not the land, but Ebola came, it gave us such a rough time. If not for Western people here, things before bad for we. So now we know say, when we're lucky we get corona, and not they affect you that much. We're not for just lean back and not do nothing, not to follow the simplest rules. But I know it's a tough thing. People do not get the money, so people are not able for buy mask. And we in society, we always close together. Market, because market there every side, street market, marketplaces them. So we in society, hard for lay, we not close, but we for try. So that's all me get for say as far as the corona is concerned. Everybody get for trying you a little bit. The leaders them for try for watch how then they portray or how then look out there. We the other people them, the little what we able we for do them. They say no shake hand. You go able to do that and you not get forget money not for shake hand. You know. Then say keep your distance from somebody. Money no come and that you and somebody can have the talk when I keep on a distance. So let we do the little bit what we able to do. Not to government go do everything. But that I not think say fair no more for begin find people them, because the method by which they find people them is unfair. Now only poor people them it will affect, not to people them will get money. So that's all. But so let we try our best, because people are really dying and it's a serious disease.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Una do Rio, una take heed, let take heed, because life. Now, when we get, once you get, I will go, now they come back again. And nobody know me don't die, can't go back. Now, so me can say, now, so them, I make it say, nobody know die, go come back until you understand. So, yeah, they one leave first for finish, we unfinished business. We propose, then I have for one live long, and all my aim done. So, no one die of this kind, die with the solo take caution, and let we do the right thing, and let we left everything else to the hands of God, or the hands of the Almighty, the Creator. Okay, so let me go to this elections. We talked last week on the election, the by-election, where they happened for parliamentarian representative. Two young lady, two young, beautiful Sierra Leonean women. Then they run for the seat where now Madam Cady Davis for the APC and Madam Josephine Jackson for the SLPP. We see it in them where we all not been glad what we see what happened for the past 2 years. Then people they don't dare in a constituency 110. They don't get representative in a parliament. Nobody, no representation for them, and that is so unfair to them. But they make this election at the third election and we know say this not the final election, but we want give we observation for the election. And right now, all man they say NEC not officially give the result yet, but we see tweet from one of the journalists, sister Vicky Omo, we congratulate Cady Davis. We see from them trending where they say Madam Cady Davis of the All People's Congress now win and this woman was the woman that was, people let me don't say they don't win them before, but they take the election and then they don't do them all over again, they win them. But this time we will play some messages them where last week we will play the First Lady message, we preach positive message, say nobody know for faith, nobody know for make Uda win, he win, let the election go on, let democracy make. And then we see another one where the APC leader, when Payan Sane, instead put out a thing where they condemn violence. And that is a good example, and that is a good stage where we leader them they set, because when words come from leaders, when words come from people that have influence, people do listen, and then people then they listen. They're not we young, but them hopefully they don't get sense. They're not for use we for go fet election, for go chook person, for go kill person, for go throw away ballot box, all the rubbish thing that they person not get for die per election. And to the NEC, we say thank you. I hope say this now the trend whether they set, whether for conduct a free, fair, safe elections where everybody go say yes, me voice, they don't hear him, and the people's voice for go loud and wide say now this the people they want without rigging an election, without. So this is a very good stage where NEC don't set. And even the present government not to interfere into the elections, because that's another thing, because we know say people interfere into elections and they corrupt the elections and then change election. We don't see a both party from one small people they go vote on the people and name people and they stuff ballot box. But this particular one, everything was in the open, every booth, every side where and there, everybody get representation and everybody satisfied, say the process work well. And to Madam Cady Davis, I say congratulations, go do the work of your people, go do the work, the voice of the people of 110 has spoken, and congratulations to you and Madam Josephine Jackson. Continue for do whatever you they do, go do, community work, community service, because we can't just say we want to go on with people who not they do nothing for change their life. We for don't begin with community service with little things that will influence. So when you're ready for votes, the people they go gladly for you. You're not there for campaign trangas, if the people they all go speak in one voice for you. So but for 110 right now, Cady Davis, they don't talk on Mr. Shillon, sir. What are your observation? What do you take from what you feel say we SALONE people, we SALONE government for land from this election because no violence not take place, no rage bobo they not load in a motor car, nobody not get influence for go corrupt. Even the international community, even Maria Briwa, they all been dealt. They work at the European, the British thing, the EU president. Ambassador, they all been there on the ground because everybody was watching this and it went out. But we not get forget everything, forget outside watchman for the car watch. What do you get forgive with people the way you take by these elections? Sir?
Well, this is a classic example of why leadership matters and the influence of leadership on people. Because certain people in this world then get for be led or somebody get for lead them. Certain people then believe in taking directions from others. That's why it's so important that when people in the run an organization of any type, whether a political organization or whether a business organization or whether a professional organization, it matters significantly waiting the person at the top or the person them at the top, they do and say. Because you just can't say you not do. And then sometimes now watching the people at the top not the say and not the do. All only to provoke some action or reaction. Now in this case, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever in Sierra Leone, they get an election, particularly this constituency here, we don't observe violence upon violence. But for the first time, leaders them from both sides, the first lady, calm, they go to the constituency, they attack them and say, no more violence. We will not support that. We will not think it good. We will not think people can get for kill themselves or hurt themselves or wound themselves just for election. And then the first lady go further and say, any one of them, the young people, them, any one of them, the parents, them, when anybody can try for hire when I picking them and get them total pack, all kind of pack for go cause trouble, ask them, the leaders, them, what they can instigate them, but I say, well, okay, you picking go join we, you don't picking them, so we all go cause the havoc and suffer the consequences. Because they put una before let una go cause trouble, when I end up in a Pademba Road. If you don't end up in a Pademba Road safe, sometimes you might end up with serious wound. Or by English we would say injury, but you go end up with serious wound. Sometimes wound will go affect you forever. Okay? Where they young picking now, then a private school in Freetown, then they are overseas. Then get great future ahead of them. What is so sad, as I can always say, with brothers and sisters then, where they promote this kind of thing. There's most of them come on at the same kind of background way, then but within the same. Because most of them brothers and sisters there, they're young papa, grandpa them, not be land book, not be ordinary work than they do. But then parents them, when they not be land book, then put them at school so they go learn. So then go provide a better environment for them young Pekin. So it is disappointing, it is sad. Where we were the land book now, where we don't can we get power within a parliament, we all big position, we in our lawyers and doctor, all we do now for pick on the small guy let go cause trouble for let we live comfortably. Nobody really try for advise the young people them. So for some of and let me remind some of our brothers them and sisters. Not to all lawyers we see in a salon, not to all doctors we see in a salon, not to all parliamentarians we see in a salon, then people are be lawyer and doctor and teacher and professor. The vast majority of them parents not even be sabi book, they can't read. But then parents and they get a dream for them. For let them be what they be today. So then we brother them where they mislead people and we get education. We not get dream for the young one and for tomorrow. We not get dream for the country. It's not only unfair, it's unpatriotic. They're not supposed to do that. Then for provide a better world and a better life than the world and the life where they meet people and they live today. So in that sense, congratulations to the First Lady, just because she went out there, campaigned sincerely, regardless of what she may or may not have said in the past. But when you go on video, you say something, put yourself out there for the question in the future, you deserve credit. Now, Mr. Yansene also, from the APC, kudos to him, because he says have condemned violence. And violence, now two ways to go. If you see and you not condemn him, you support him. Now I make you not condemn him. If you get the authority for say something. And a lot of time the violence will take place because the one that will get the power for tell people enough for doing, then they look the other way. But this time, where both parties do not look the other way, then send them big guns, Mr. Yansanena APC, the First Lady in our SLPP, and say, nobody not going to die, nobody not going to get hurt. Who that win? We get a proud outcome of which we all, Salonians, are proud of the way the election was conducted, and regardless of the outcome. And let me say something further. I always feel the government never loses. Even if the government candidates this time no win, much credit goes to the government because they create an atmosphere for a just election to take place. So, of course, the person in charge, the electoral commissioner, gets even a higher praise because he lived up to the expectation. You see, for being electoral commissioner, like when you're a judge, you sit down at the bench, you listen to a case, a person kind of caught, your mind might tell you, say, this person is guilty of this crime. But the way you feel, not for being injected into that trial day. Now, how the case to go? Now, how the state able to prove, or how the other side able to prove the case? So, no matter how you feel, you get for give victory to the person where even your mind feels say enough for winner. That's what being a judge is about. And the same thing like electoral commissioner. Electoral commissioner, you're not a person. You can't be APC or SAPP. Nobody they say let you be neutral, not forget you emotional, because electoral commissioner too, when election time can nationally, he's get for vote. So it will vote for somebody. But you know, for mix that responsibility there, which you feeling about whose party you support. So when somebody is able to draw the line between in job and how he feel and execute or carry out that responsibility there in a nice, proper way, we forgive and credit. So the electoral commissioner, the NEC boss, he gets a lot of credit now. I hope this will be an example. I will always say, there is not always when somebody no win, you are a loser. Particularly in an instance like this, the government for be proud, the government for be proud that they allow people and forget free and fair election, and this is a positive reflection of the progress of the current government, where them for use in the future in their own interest. So that said, I hope this is an example where we will go all around the country for national election, parliamentary election, and any kind of election. People who put this violence being we, killing, and we don't tell where we get this history. It go way back in the 60s. It's killing and attacking. If you're not there on my side, you for lost your life, you for lost your property. This is nothing new. These two political parties, they are both guilty equally. And so this time when both parties come out and condemn violence, it worked. So I will hope we will see that as an example, and we for be thankful to the leaders then put the American man and we say, they put their mouth where their money is, and things come out okay. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Shilon. Before I go to the education, because you talk on with picking them, Boku, them people, then one day within a power now, Boku for the people, they not land book. And then now with the education system, where they now, we don't see for the longest time, the education system don't go down. From the 10 year where we've been, they go school to now, where the education system, but before I go to that day, let us talk, since we talk on the issues that are trending, we see the former president, Ernest Bai Koroma, condolences to him and his family, his sister, Admire, died, he lost his sister, so we say condolences to the president, and also a former minister, Usain Bolt dies in England, so they pray for the family, them send condolences to them people, them. But we see former President Koroma left yesterday or day before yesterday, and they go Ivory Coast for on an inauguration. And we they talk on the free and fair election, we they talk about the voice of the people, we they talk about manipulating the constitution for let it work. And we see with former presidents left, don't go for this inauguration. This is a president that, you know, he put himself back again at power for a third time where the constitution say no. They go to parliament agree, whatever, you know, how we governments in Africa, they manipulate. Then we not also talk at this same channel, say this thing happened. We know say the SEC commissioner, when I be Mr. Ben Kelfala, if we don't condemn this third time business here, what we in the Yeri room or the talk say they against third time, and he condemned this president of Ivory Coast. But we know Yeri, we own president, when a president Madabio condemn him. And then now we see with former president, himself don't go for in support of this government, where not to the will of the people. So I don't know how for interpret them, but it seemed to say like we young leader them, they condone this behavior of their counterparts in Africa, where they trample on the rights of the city, they trample on the constitution, where don't set for govern and rule the country and for guide we how we they go. So what thing you feel when you see that thing there? Because President Bio did not condemn. The only person I give kudos to, because I put in tweet out there, was Ben Kelfala, where say trouble in the making, not something where not get for born good picking. In other words, in my own words, but he put her in that way. They put her in my own words, and not go get for born good picking because not trouble, not time bomb. They set and they set the example where by all the other leader them now Africa go get for thing. So, Mr. Shilon, you know, yeah. So Nadande with a try for talk. So, Mr. Shilon, I don't know what you use, what in your own thought, because it's kind of not a good sign for me when I saw it for say, okay, what thing do we former president go support this man, and what thing do we on present government no condemn her? What do we young presidents no condemn her? That is the question, because this not the person where the people they want, but yet they don't put themselves inside there, because whoever is in the sitting chair now in gets the power. Who that they in power that moment, then I get everything, every other thing they under them. So which you say as a legal man, as a legal person, as a legal scholar, and professional legal person, what do you get for say what you see, sir?
Well, to start with, I think the former president going to the inauguration of a president in Ivory Coast, where we clearly know say violate their own law, impose himself on the people them, where you not be supposed to do a third term, decide say he ain't go do a third term. So show say you not get no regard for law and order, you not care for in country, he put himself above the country. It's not a good show for we on, you know, I still maintain the fact that former President Koroma is not the president anymore doesn't mean he shouldn't act presidential. There are certain protocol standards by which, as a former president, for maintain. Okay, so in going, to me, it's like you dey confirm, say, breaking the law, throwing aside your country's constitution, doing what in the constitution say you know for do. It's a good thing, because I think it reflects badly on him. It reflects badly on the country, and it reflects badly on the party of which I believe he is the leader, still the leader, because I don't think it's a good thing at all. Just like, for example, we in America, we don't go we own election. We know say the current president lost. Okay, now, if, for example, he insists saying one day after the 20th of this year, of next year, then somebody come to America for can begin supporter, let's say a proclaim himself, that person there will not be looked upon favorably, because, I mean, when I say somebody like somebody of presidential stature, okay, so we for lead by how what is expected of us. We not for bring ourselves below the expectation. Former President Nkrumah has no business going to that inauguration day, because what is he proving? Trying to prove that, oh, it's okay for misuse power, for abuse power, and impose yourself against the will of the people. And this is sometimes how the leaders, they don't get regard for the very people. Then they use democratic means for kind of power. Then as soon as they kind of power, then use undemocratic means for staying in power. Well, the system not going to work right if you not believe you, because then it's just saying a lie, you lie to the people that you just want for coming, then you change. Okay, same thing will apply if somebody go to inauguration in Guinea. What we see say this Guinean president grossly don't abusing power. These people should be ostracized. They should be condemned. They should be shamed. You know, unless we keep calling a spade, and the only thing people don't understand about politics and politicians, not all politicians, most politicians are not sincere. Most politicians are opportunists. They just to follow the trend for take them to a destination. And if they see say people are not using their own judgment, they will take advantage of weakness or lack of judgment. Now, with respect to the current president, I will hope he doesn't go to the inauguration, because if he goes, he will be conveying the same message with President Nkrumah they convey, and that will be that, listen, when one of we do bad, one of we meaning presidents, who for us look the other way and pretend for say it's okay. But I think say it could be very, very good if President Biono go, because if President Biono go, I not send any dignitary there, period. Low level or high level, nobody should go, because I mean we have to become countries of laws. And when we take the law seriously, other countries, other continents, they will take we seriously. But this thing where we don't respect ourselves, we think say we get a right for impose ourselves people, even when they don't want to, all and not speak well for we. So since President Nkrumah act by going, I don't get no evidence yet. I don't get any evidence yet that President Bio or in government they go or they don't go. I go withhold my judgment in terms of any position where I take, but I will strongly encourage them or discourage them from going. So na me in position now and there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, we get for speaking one word, because I see the conversation they go on. One of we brother Max Jallo say, Madam Fadima, African leaders, they can't condemn their crook African leaders they want to stay in power till they die, blah, 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 blah. So don't waste your precious time. We get for begin talk. We get for begin get the conversation because we young people them and because we young generation, because me don't old now, I don't begin go down the hill. But the young want them for learn, for speak up, because we cannot accept the wrong and continue for accept the wrong if we want to see the change where we want. If we want to see the change where we deserve, where every citizen of your nation go able for providing self for the basic living and basic necessities of life without fear or waiting and call self or favor or without being afraid, without living in social injustice, without we get for begin speak the word and we get for call it like it is. We cannot dress it. We cannot say there is not, it's just a waste of time. Yes, we all belong to that attitude, but we don't realize that we have all made that mistake and we for continue for speak out, for continue for do the things, we get for call them out as we see them. And Mickey always say, if people do good, we forgive in good and praise them. But if you do bad, we for criticize them with love, because I criticize with love. I tell you, say, what you they do is not good, because I cannot be beating you. If I keep beating on you, you will not be, not go change, you're not go capable of changing. But if I continue to tell you and I begin to tell you, you go realize, say, wait a minute here, this is not the right thing. You get conscience, you go change. But although some people don't have a conscience, because when people go into power, they become a different person. People become, but then again, Mr. Shilon, they don't say it is not a different person. It is because they did not have the opportunity. Once they get the opportunity, they show them true self. Because money is like when you get it, you think you have all the power in the world, then your true self comes out for try for be not caring about people, evil to mankind. It's easy for be humble when you're poor. But when you get money, a lot of people, their arrogance comes out of them. So we not go say we not go tired for talk. One voice can change a room. One room can change a town. One town can change a nation. One country can change the nation and then the world. So if we all begin talk the right way, talk the right thing, put out the positive, but then talk the negative, but then talk with side where we go, go be waiting and call. Although everybody speaks a different language, so don't get me wrong. Some people them believe in using obscenity. That's on them, But that's how they think their style is. But me own style. I get for talk. I talk them. I call them out with love and say, this is what you're doing. The people are suffering. We therefore make the change. Everybody gets your own style. So, I'm sorry, my brother, for disappoint you or whatever. But if we change the attitude, then another one, Adama Mambo or Nambo or Mambo. He said Ben Venezuela condemning the third term is very hypocritical to the highest degree, because he has done and said things on the issues of protest and the economy of Sierra Leone when his party was in opposition, and Sierra Leone is going through all what he condemned, but is supporting everything his power regime is doing. That is Madam Adama Mambu, something like that. Yeah, I mean that's the sister right here. Because we just made a reference that Kwelfala is condemning. He said he been there on the opposition, because sometimes it's easy for condemn the other side, but then for call your people you have to have courage. You have to stand for courage. You have to stand, and that's why we hold them responsible. When they do bad, we call them out. When they do good, we call them. We praise them. So we talk on these issues. They are listening. They are hearing, and then go make the change. Hopefully, they make the change, because when you do the right for the people will gravitate towards you, and the people will vote you in. Until then, it is going to be hard. Madam Fatima Savage, can you please help me with my M&M Shilon American contact? Okay, email or phone number. Okay, Ato Talu, they talk on that. They say once Mr. Shilon, Mohammed Shilon, he wants you contacting thing. So inbox or send a message now with WhatsApp number, and then the producer then go get some, and then go send you number, send you contact, Then they go get to Mr. Shillon, and Mr. Shillon will get back with you. Mr. Shillon, Sierra Leone president was never invited. So where you advise or encourage him to attend, does not matter. He is no good. He has no good relationship with other African leaders, especially the sub-region. They say so they not be invite him. So, you know, you don't need for advice him because they not invite him, so you know they go. That's the voice of one of our people on the thread. So yeah, but let me go back. So yeah, go ahead, sir.
Now, if I may say something. So if the current president they not invite him, I don't think it's such a bad thing. If you not get good relations with corrupt leaders in other country, if the reason why you not get good relations with them, that because of trend, we seem to be oppositional or adversarial or not in the people's interest, I see nothing wrong with that. So, but it's kind of strange that the former president can be invited to the inauguration of a president who forced himself on the people. I see nothing to be proud of because it's a bad indicator, an indication that we former president condone that kind of a behavior day, that kind of a lawlessness day. So I don't think it speaks well of us. So I think, in fact, it's in the current president in best interest. If the only reason why he's not there because he's not an invitee, then I think that help him greatly, you know. So that's one. Two, with the person we call, we say, we seem to be just about giving up. For say we are who we are. So no waste your time. Let us remember, the world will have never changed to what it is if you not get people of courage, where they see wrong and call it wrong. We get the courage for say something. Just think for one moment, if we all feel like that color day, if we all get a sense of helplessness, I personally, I don't go out in the street and demonstrate even for things where I believe, because I not get the guts for take the punishment for be clobbered by the police. But there are a lot of courageous people where they go demonstrate, where they know say, policeman go hit them, opposing group go hit them, but then believe passionately. We think for one moment what a difference these people make in our lives. If Dr. Martin Luther King, then we just take America for what it is and say, well, hey, you know, black and white, black man and which man and get the power, will not forfeit, you know. Will America be what it is today? So, you know, we all owe a duty. We get one thing God give we all. We know wrong from right. We know cruelty from kindness. I don't care whose culture you come out. You know bad where you see bad. So even if you don't get the courage for voice out an opinion, you for always encourage the one that will get the courage for stand up for wrong. I mean, against wrong. You know, so my brother, not be that pessimistic. The world where we did today, now because certain people can get the courage for stand up to unfairness, to injustice. American history, you don't hear about Rosa Parks. I don't know if in America are you there, but Rosa Parks, when the law say yes, black people in Sudan at the back of the bus, white people and they get the right for Sudan at the front of the bus. That was the law. The police, did everything. You get this black woman where you say, hell, I am not going to do it. I pay for this bus, I go sit down with her hand for sit down. If you ever kill me, kill me. So think if Rosa Parks they feel like you. For say, well, the Lord and the Lord just take the suffering. Lord just take, no, not to say the world to change. So let we give credit to the one that will get the courage for stand up, for call out wrong. So now that me go tell you, don't be pessimistic. Even if believe, say things could change, don't forget, we all in a lifetime. Had anyone told us 15 years ago say America will get a black president, we all would have said it's impossible. When I was way beyond we comprehension in terms of the possibility of that happening. But because people continue for fight for the right, we ended up getting a black president. Now we're in the process of getting first female president in America, vice president in America. Okay, suppose people are so pessimistic. This woman who is about to be vice president will have never even been in a position to be vice president, because if we will feel the way you feel for say, the law has to lobby Hillary Clinton try and not be what they call black woman not go be. But please, 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 things not to so things to work. So not to well get the courage for stand up to authority, but there are some of us who believe in that. So for those who believe in that, let we encourage them. And for my brother, we say that, please not give up. The world only changes when you get people of courage for say things, not to people who would throw in the towel and say, let things be the way they are, or let the chips fall where they may. So please change that attitude there, because I don't think it helps mankind. You know, if you're not a religious person, if you're not Christ, if you're not Christian, you believe in Christ, Christ not just come, he agree with everything, the way society be there. That because he fetch them, they make them crucify him. If you're not the Prophet Muhammad, go back and read the history. He come, he stand up to authorities because things were not going right. That always, now the history of mankind, people will disagree with unjust laws. Some of us will not have the courage and the guts for say anything about that, but there are some people who will stand up for it regardless of the consequence. So please, don't give up so quick. Let we pass hope to the other one the way they come. If we're not able for fight against injustice, somebody will come along, as long as we keep hope alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shilon. Thank you very much. I read the trend, and since this is social media, I want to go to a topic when somebody write there. I go come to SALONE Force write a president. Can you fact check this for me? Technical team. It say FDK, America's president, served 16 years as president, and he was disabled. FDK. Now FDR remain or FDK?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR.
Yeah, I say FDK. Roosevelt. I think he did FDR. Did he serve for 16 years? I don't know that, but we'll get back to that answer there with him. But another thing that, since we are talking about the relationship with the former, the present president, President Bio, with the neighboring countries, we know say Guinea, during Guinea the election, they accused the vice president of supporting thugs for interfering in the election. And I think when they go like complain to the ECOWAS and all the other people them. And the problem, believe said they don't solve them, but believe. So the border still to Guinea, then close them. So this man, Mohamed Kamara said this is very serious. Over 200 Sierra Leoneans have been arrested in Guinea. This is because of the bad relationship between our neighboring countries. I see a video of a young man. I will try for Phenom and put him out there so we can watch. The white man, this guy, a young guy pleading for his life, say they don't arrest them, they say they're not terrorists. They don't arrest them at Guinea, then go find market. I don't know how they cross go over Guinea, if not through Sierra Leone border, they go by plane or whatever. But he said they catch them on one side, maybe at the border in town, them. They don't catch them, they don't care, they go they don't know what thing ever happened to them. Because at that time, by the report of that young man, he said it was like 14 or 15 of them at the station right now. Then they sleep in a toilet, then they can't carry and go back in the toilet, they sleep, and then they call for then pass the message on to the government, to anybody who go here, to anybody where they waiting and call for try for save their life, because they don't know, they are uncertain of waiting they go on. So with the relation with the Guinea president Conde now, it kind of like people them this, according to this guy, I don't know if in number right or wrong, but I saw a video of this man pleading for his life and begging, say they don't arrest them in Guinea, then they round up them, they say they're not terrorists, then soldier man, then they round up them. And at present, 2 days ago, the guy was in Guinea, they don't care, I'm going to Conakry, and then you don't know waiting there for being fake. So, Mr. Alaji, thank you for the reminder. Thank you so much. But I hope, we do something fast, because I know say we've been talk on that day the last time. If when they talk on the vice president, say the president of Guinea, Conde, they condemned, say the vice president of Sierra Leone, Jules Diallo, is interfering in an election, and they go lay complain. And we talk about the problem where go be the trade war, because at the Yeri they say there's a trade war. If Guinea lock in border to Sierra Leone, things are going to be harder in Freetown. Things are going to be harder because people, when they come out, then they go buy cheaper goods, and they can't sell them inside Sierra Leone, they come out Guinea, then they can't sell them. And so we get to be a little worried about this. We get to be a little worried because this is troubling and we don't know where it's going to go, but we prayed and solve and quick, because we brother than they Guinea, we sister than they Guinea, then they go fend their hand to more, then they go trading with the markets them, then they go buy and sell, forgets their living. And this is happening, and it is very, very troubling. So we pray to the government of Sierra Leone, to the president and whoever is in charge, the minister of interior, the ambassador for foreign affairs, somebody do something, ECOWAS, all the other unions, EU, OU, AU, all the union, they wanna come to the aid of the people of Sierra Leone, because we boys then did it, we girls then did it, we Pekin then did it, and then they arrest them now as terrorists. So I just want to put that there, Mr. Shillon. You get anything for her?
No, man, no, nothing.
Okay, so I will send the video as we go on, or if anybody gets at hand, please send it to the WhatsApp number, and then go plan for we. But we get for do that. Okay, now FDR, they say FDR.
FDR, yeah.
Okay, we're saying FDR. It puts, I say FDR served for 12 years from 1933 to 1945. I don't know what happened at that time. We'll research them and we will share to the people. Something must have happened. And Tolu Bango, I say yes. FDR Roosevelt served for 3 terms because of him, of the Republican Party, Congress. I don't know, so I don't go fast.
Well, Congress modified the law and I make them come back to 2 terms because
Congress limits the presidency to 2 terms. Thank you very much, Mr. Tolu Bangura. Thank you for sharing that. And we don't put her up there too. And it make the law, because we cannot allow people, to go for, sometimes people test the law, people test the system. And if you not meet resistance, we allow them, then they go make a norm. That's what happens in Sierra Leone for a long time, don't they happen? So let me go to education.
May I say this quickly? I don't know if the person brings this 3rd time with FDR. Okay. Well, I don't know which in the person try for refer to.
No, what they talk on the 3rd term for the president of Ivory Coast.
The way FDR do there was nothing stopping him from doing 3 terms. Because the term limits them. The figures say
it was a Great Depression. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the figures say after 2 years, the psychology of people there, as long as I didn't get for electing president, when I go to try with the president. So, but the people elected FDR, imposed himself. He was elected the 3rd term. Now that happened. So then in Congress decide say, then go pass a law limiting the president to the presidency for only 2 terms.
Okay.
So not like waiting the people in Ivory Coast to do. The Constitution say 2 terms. Then say we don't care about the Constitution. We did a 3rd term. And anybody who succeed for the 3rd term, they will continue 4th term, 5th term. He's not going to give up. If he can't give up when the time reach, not to when the time not reach, he will come on the power. So as soon as you get somebody who they comply with the 2nd term rule, that person, if he get away with the 3rd term thing, when I don't get a dictator, he's not going to come out. So
yeah.
you see,
So there was nothing to limit them at first, but then they come with the law. So that's why they taught them. And then I mean, it was saying it was during the Great Depression and all that stuff. Then Terry say he had polio. That's why, you know, he say handicap, he had polio, you know, then they not been getting good injection for polio.
He was handicapped, but that was
yes, but we once there's a law, we get to go by the law. Once we have the law, we cannot allow people to become dictators. We cannot allow our leaders to think. That's why we advocate for let the people be, let the people demonstrate, let the people speak their mind, let the people wear for that. As long as they're doing it peacefully and not infringing the rights of other citizens, it is their duty, it is their right for go out there and say, I am happy with you, I am not happy with you. So if you then on one side, you say, I'm not happy, demonstrate peacefully, say you make peacefully. Then the other side, if you say you like the president, come out there and support your president in a peaceful way, but not promoting violence and killing and all that rubbish what they do to we safe now Africa. And another thing that came out this week on the social media, before we go to the education of Bokande, since we are on it, let's talk about it now. There was another video and a thing there. They say they don't arrest some Sierra Leoneans them where President Madabio and government don't blacklist because then they oppose the government. So I reached out to the Minister of Information and I reached out to him. I say, is this true, sir? Because I don't understand what they go on. I see the video them where then they talk of say they don't arrest some Sierra Leonean there where they go because then they oppose the government because they don't like the what they say, they don't put people, they name them now they list, so when they reach the airports then they go out there on social media. So I reach out to Rado Soare, and this Rado Soare message to me, he say this is nonsense. President Bio is the greatest champion of free speech. So he say, you know, because I will send, make we play this video. I will send them to the team, let them play this video for me quick. Let them show waiting, do I send and the video I send and this and that, and the message I get to say President Bio is for free speech. And so that video, that rumor, because some people they afraid because we all them don't threaten. We say people then on the forum, you gonna Freetown, they go arrest you because people give people they name them, people then they give people the way they go attack people, then you get people them on call out some people. Then the last time when they give people the name, they address them, say now then they out and they do this, out and they set this, out and they incite, out and they do all that kind of thing. Then they. So Mr. Sef now they don't get him. He say you name then you wait no more where you gonna Freetown a while ago. Where you gonna Freetown, they go arrest you. I say, why should they arrest me? I am a Sierra Leone and I'm a citizen. And as long as I am free to go into my country, as long as I know they make anything for terrorism, I know they make nothing for do anything for overthrow me government, I get right to my country at any time and anything where then I'm in home back. Who's born me, mama did me family all day until I feel say I don't want to go Sierra Leone again. I get right for good day. So I reach out to the Minister of Information. I say because these are the things we get for Yeri from UNA, because these are the things people are putting out there. We don't know which one is true, which one is lie. But you know, I don't know if they will play the video for me. If they will play this video for me, where one of we brother put out there, and they say, you know, I think it's Sababa, one of the guys on social media, they put out there say with the lawyer say that they kill people, that they arrest people then. So you know, so go ahead please.
Good evening. I get a telephone conversation, I come on a phone with several people the older reach in Sierra Leone airport where they go vacation in Sierra Leone. They say them be arrested by police officers then at airport because they say Madabio in government give the instruction say anybody where they criticize in government, then give them name the way we should then blacklist them people there for arrest them. I want let Madabio not say at the wrong page it on the show. Sierra Leone belongs to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone belongs to a president and not belongs to any government. Say government has supervised, they supervise the affairs of what in the happen in the country. But for say if I put Sierra Leoneans and subject them to your view because they not dance to your tune, then Madabio is at the wrong page. Some of you get a lot of buttons then all been on press in the previous government. It was time for press and for the international committee, African Union, ECOWAS and other partners then where they support democracy and human rights and Sierra Leone say This now what you don't say. Only under one party state. People then, you as a government, you are part of people who have criticize the previous government. If you say they're not for criticize because Sierra Leoneans and they go, then for infringe and then right, they are one the police officers then. The government officers, they will do them this action, then they're in the wrong page. And some of you ready for follow-up, ready for push, some of you been on quiet in the media for some reasons. But I think we need to come back and for them matter be you know say this is not a dictator. Nobody know the afraid the government. Me Tababa, we are not afraid the government. We stand for the truth. What you will do for change the next government, we can do for changing back. 2023. Me now wanna pick in time.
That was the video I sent to the Minister of Information, and that was the message he gave me, say President Bio is a champion of free speech, so that's not true. That's what he told me. He said it is nonsense, it is not true. And so be assured that you are guaranteed safety in your country, according to the Minister of Information, Mr. Radu Soare. So I just want to pass them out there to Una, because a lot of people, I know somebody will tell me, say, he cancel in trip because the afraid say let them not go all na Freetown way reach na airport. Okay. She said that. So I don't know, but yeah, that is what. So let we go to the education section now.
I can comment on that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
What I would appreciate is when people then put their information out here for it to be credible and believable, therefore give me more facts. For say then they arrest people then, I wish they can give me names of one or two people and then who side and come out, well, in England, America, Germany, Australia, at the job Australians them. Mm-hmm. And I give away as much information, but just say that they arrest people then, he had for attach any credibility to that or any credence to that. So it may be true, but are not sufficient for people and for lean on. But on the other hand, if it is true, well, first of all, what you need to observe under the current government, a lot of people and they take matters into their own hands. Mm-hmm. Under the disguise of coming from higher authorities. So I hope the president will be mindful for, say, people and way to use and call off the government for do illegal things, way in and no but it reflect on government. So if for clamp down on people who do that. But generally speaking, it is senseless, it is short-sighted. I mean, it is counterproductive. I mean, first of all, criticizing the government of Sierra Leone, there's no law against criticizing the government of Sierra Leone. So when does a police or an officer arrest someone, not to where you commit a crime? So if you're not violating any law, why will anybody get the authority for just arrest you? Where you and for so you criticize? Whose kind nonsense down there and arbitrariness? You can't, and two, if you care about Sierra Leone, not to say you want cast Sierra Leone in that light state. You don't want Sierra Leone for be the African country when in citizenship, calm holiday, for help for build the economy, for spend the dollars and the euros we then bring. Owners are so short-sighted, the people who they come for help for infuse cash into the economy, when they inject fear into them. So the president shouldn't be happy with that kind of news here if he doesn't believe in that. If we clamp down the incident, they saw the rumor not go spread. If he really serious about taking care of the economy and encouraging Sierra Leoneans. And there are some realities Sierra Leone has to deal with. The reality is there are Sierra Leoneans abroad, some of whom are retirees, some of whom are financially well off, some of whom are highly skilled professionals with contacts. Now, is it in the best interest of Sierra Leone for come up with this short-sighted ridiculousness that if somebody says something that somebody doesn't like, that it means when that person they step foot in Australian when they come, so that person had to build host in Australian, which means it infuse cash into the economy by buying all kind of things and employing people. A what discouraging that person because the person say what it because he criticize. I mean, watching one man in criticism might not be another man in criticism. So I don't even understand. And if you not break the law, if the police then embark on that, we need to know, as a matter of fact, send we information, tell we say such and such and such was arrested, so we can give the minister in charge fact. And if the minister, who when are the spokesperson and representative of the government, they should be really thinking hard. Okay? I mean, it don't help Sierra Leone at all for threatening people and say, if they say anything that is not favorable to the government, because what we're preaching is the same thing. We say, we want for call the shot as we see it. We try to give government information. We try to encourage government to do the right thing. We want the economy to grow. We want people to live a better life. So you belong in a jail just because you talk for let people their life improve. You know, you're not being disrespectful. So some of these people are in government. If this happen, they just don't understand what it means to run government. You know, and you cannot run a country like that. Any party in power just to go out of order for beginning to arrest people. So one, I'm not going to say I don't believe say that they arrest people. They may be doing it, but please let us get more information so we go direct a question to the appropriate authorities. You know, and if you care about Sierra Leone, the most valuable people Sierra Leone has or Sierra Leone gets. Now you citizens them abroad. The one that we care for go there and spend the money, you know? So what sense it make for begin discourage people for Canada country? It's senseless. So if that's a policy in disguise or that's an actual policy, I will hope the one that would practice and start up begin to think a little deeper. Can that make the dinner leadership for think and look at the future for the country? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I mean, I tried to find the other video of the that's why I sent it to the Minister of Information, Rado Soare, for a answer for me. Is this true? But in response, that's absolute nonsense. And President Bio is the biggest supporter of free speech. So, I mean, at least I take a little courage in that. And I hope it is not true, whatever it is. You know, let's say, let's get with facts right and let's fix the problem we get. Another thing, so let me go to this education thing where I want to bring so we notice. We read the, and see the results of the, we call them GC, WIEC, whatever, then call them examination where we begin and do. And we see with Parliament, they don't begin do their work. Then they call for us. What thing happen where 4% or whatever percentage, I don't remember the exact percentage of the people, they picking them, now they no more pass, boku picking them fail. And we are in our social media, the blame is going around now the minister, because now in power now, so they get for column for ASCA. So whatever been done pass in the past, because we all know say when failure begin, and not they begin one term, but because now in sit down at the chair right now in get for answer then question and day. So go to Parliament, unala we hear for una self. And then we will try for broke down what he say and what we understand by what he say. And if they try for make we understand or they try for confuse we or waiting at this thing where Dr. Moinina Senge put out there to the parliamentarian them for explain waiting at the reason why we picking them. They know they do well for the exam, they not do well for this exam here. So we go broke down all the other reasons, they're waiting the probabilities, them maybe not this, maybe not that, it can be this, it can be that, it can that. But now we hear first the minister, and in the minister in your word, now we hear first waiting is say but the result. Technical thing.
Number one, I'm concerned about how you will handle brain drain in our various secondary schools. As an alumnus of Magoroka Secondary School, one challenge that keeps on coming whenever I attend the AGM is brain drain. The glaring lack of English teachers and chemistry teachers in rural schools. Number two, we want to see line being drawn between principals of school and their teachers. In those days, you see the glaring difference. Whenever a teacher appears, that is so recalcitrant, whenever a principal appears, not only the pupils will tremble, but even teachers will be panicked at the presence of principals. Today, we are not seeing much of that. Principals and teachers of school are just the same. Number 3, what has been your stance on remote allowances for rural teachers? Remote allowances, we used to see that in those days. And number 4, the reading culture. The other day, I pinpointed as a mark, the reading culture is slowly dying out like a morning dew. We've seen the pains more taking edge than the gains of modern technology. The pains is making mark. The use of WhatsApp and Facebook by pupils is not helping them at all. Not at all. The intended intention that we had, that modern technology will help them, we're not seeing the drawbacks or the disadvantages of modern technology. For the pupils, they will spend the whole time in watching season films, Nigerian movies. I'm coming to the parents. Nigerian movies.
It's to explain that there are requirements for higher education in higher technical institutions in this country.
The Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Senge, Tuesday, December 8, 2020, appeared at the Well of Parliament as MP dem Bidon Samunam for come explain why plenty picking them we sit the 2020 WASC examination fail forget requirements for enter university. This concern not just strong up MP them arts, but same way so the public we understand say out of the about 150,000 school picking them we sit the WASC examination, now just 4.5% get university requirement. But the Minister of Education not been waste time for deny say this not to true.
And when I said politicizing education, what I meant was that when we see a headline that says 4.5% people pass, that is unhelpful for this country because it's just false. It's unhelpful for this country because the people who are promoting that headline are not using the facts. WAEC in Sierra Leone has not done any analysis that they publicized. The only people who did that analysis was myself, based on the WAEC report. And when I explicitly spoke about the 4.5%, it was not pass rate. People used what I said and created a headline that they wanted to keep their story. The pass rate that WAEC could not calculate the pass rate now because they have not even finished releasing all the results across all of the countries.
Dr. Senge carry on for the breakdown of pass mark them where school picking them get and say 2020 results them better pass the 2019 result, but the only thing away plenty picking them sits the 2020 WASC exam where you compare to the 2019 exam.
In 2019, for candidates who scored 3 credits, we had 12,694, 12.4%. In 2020, candidates with 3 credits was 15,833. This number for 3 credits, for 4 credits, and 5 credits actually went up between 2019 and 2020. There's something quite interesting that I will get to, but it's important to note that the number of people who have credits has risen continuously in this country. In 2019, total number of students with 3 credits, 26,170. In 2020, 31,004. However, the percentage, because that's what the main issue is, in 2019, the percentage of students with 3 credits was 25.5%. And I say 3 credits because with 3 credits in one sitting, even in the universities that we have, many students can go to higher and technical institutions. In 2020, that percentage dropped to 22.2%. But the drop in percentage is only because we expanded the candidature by about 5%, by about 5 times, 5x. We changed the number of people who can take exams because the government decided to pay for WASS fees and expanded that by about 5 times. We have an increase in number of people who passed, but the percentage went down because percentages are dependent on the denominator, the total number of candidates.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Senge, not been waste time for point finger by the past administration at the Ministry of Education. For what he say, they not been labeled a foundation and not be take decision based on evidence and praise the free quality education program with President Bio Brinkam.
I met an educational system in this country that had an inexistent foundation for our children, that had lack of systems, systems, and I will not inform my data. And I will talk a little bit about where that came from. The Garmanja Commissions of Inquiry report, which this Parliament in 2008 to 2010, under the instruction of the then President, spoke and was summoned because of the poor performance at that point in 2008.
Trying to find a solution. That's good.
The Garmanja Commission is what led to SSS-4 as one of the interventions. That report also led to the ban on pregnant girls accessing school. We have read that report, and unfortunately, between 2010 and 2018, the details of that report were not executed. I have traveled this country and I've been to every district. I have engaged with honorable members in this world in the field. We have engaged with education stakeholders, the SLTU, CPSS, NACOT, the civil society. The committee chair for basic education is always in my office. The students, the education sector plans, and the annual school census, these are things that we have used to inform this engagement with honorable members today. So what is FQSE? What is the Free Quality School Education? I'll give a brief overview of that. I may be biased, but I think it's the most well thought and most ambitious project of our country ever. It is based on and is driven by values of equity, justice, and development. Our approach is data, evidence, policy, technology, and impact focused. And it is what underpins the National Development Plan titled Education for Development and the President's Human Capital Development Agenda. FQSE is national and inclusive. FQSE beneficiaries include every child, whether you're in government, government-assisted, mission, private, community schools. Everyone has benefited and continue to benefit from FQSE. We have expanded basic education to, for the first time in this country, include pre-primary and early childhood education. We also, for the first time in this country, expanded education to include senior secondary school with tuition free. At a period when the world is reducing investment in education, Sierra Leone is one of the only countries who has expanded its financing and resources into education. When we talk globally, in terms of public investment in education, Sierra Leone ranks #1. The main features of FQSE It's obviously the tuition free for government and government assisted from pre-primary through senior secondary school, as I mentioned. Public examination waiver for all children, which has meant that most of our children now have an opportunity to transition from primary to secondary, from junior to senior, and from senior to higher and technical institutions. We've expanded on teacher training. We've strengthened the Teaching Service Commission, where they now have an office in every district, and we've expanded teacher support. We've reassessed teachers, 4,000 of them, to put them on the right pay grade. We've continued professional development, and we have provided teacher and learning materials across this entire country. We have infrastructure. We've expanded and built classrooms, hundreds of classrooms, renovated in 4 districts. We have built furniture that have been supplied across the schools nationwide. And just to focus on quality, in the last 14 years, there was no curriculum and research department at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. We have stood that up. We have established a basic education curriculum framework. We've established a civic education curriculum framework. And for the first time in this period, expanded and developed syllabuses for all subjects in basic education. Wow.
Different questions have been come out from MP them. We go to the Minister of Education and he been try for respond to plenty of them, and also he been go like.
Mr. Minister, imagine that 4 people are sharing one textbook. How would you think? How would you think learning will take place? 2. What is the current status of the school feeding program?
Thank you.
3. The results we've heard. How many of them? And what yardsticks? What yardstick you use to determine malpractice? The yardstick you use to determine the malpractice that led you to the seizure of those results. Number 4. The minister said gradually the people's population grows from 35 to over 100,000. Is it because of mass promotion or quality promotion? Which is
I do want to also respond to the question about 4 people sharing one textbook. What do we prefer? Do you prefer 80 people in one classroom meant for 40? Or do you prefer 40 people met in one classroom meant for 40 and the other 40 are still in mango 1 and mango 3? And our street children out of school. As the people of this country, we have to make a decision that we want all of our children in school. That means if they have to share one textbook, 4 to 1 textbook, we thank the Lord and will continue, all of us, to ensure that they have it. Because access to education, is the singular and only way to have transformation and development of any country in this world.
About how you will handle brain drain in our various secondary schools. As an alumnus,
Minister don't go there. The minister they try for defend the result of the WAEC examination, the GCO level, what we be the call and then they will be the go school. We don't hear it and say the people that will get 3 credits and above or whatever, because what in do they're not able to go university because Boku people go sit but they not get the score they wait for them for go to a university level. And we say this time the people they will sit now being 15,000 because of the free education, more picking than can register and more picking than come. But the question here and the percentage where it kind of confusing a little bit, because it talk of the denominator and the numerator. The denominator are the number where they under. So it talk of 15,300 or whatever picking then and then go take the exam. But the numerator of the picking that we pass and the number of picking that we pass. So even if the and then he said 2019, it gets 4,000 picking, that the denominator was 4,000, the amount of picking that we see, but then they get more results or they get higher score, lesser score, whatever it was. But if the numerator, if the denominator where they under don't boku, if the picking that we don't go sit boku, so more picking for pass. Because if more picking for pass, the numerator where they pant up will go up. That more picking and pass out of 15,000. But if 15,000 are only 4% pass, now the confusion that they in the try for talk say, they now because this number make the percentage not count to the percentage. So we not for look at the percentage, we for look at the number of picking they will pass. So Mr. Shilon, because for the one they will not go understand, it confusing to we will not learn that kind of book they way. Mr. Senge land, because I know say he's a well-learned Sierra Leonean, and I know him for say he earn every degree where he gets within knowledge and within a call. But the thing what they confused right now is how it explain this percentage. That is the confusion here. So Mr. Shilo, if you're able small bit for put small lights by that side there for we not go better book for that Mamina village where they listen for in Peking. And then we go ask ourselves the question, what are the reasons, what are responsible, what are the conditions that are responsible for let we get them kind result here? Because we know say not a one thing no more they make this result here be like I be so. But who factors and they where they lead to them kind result here? But let pass on to Mr. Shilon first. Let's try for make we understand this percentage business where the Minister of Education will talk about.
Well, myself, Naya, I get a little bit of confusion. I don't understand the way the minister they try to explain them. But before, so Dr. Senge, now unquestionably, is a highly educated man, going to some of the best universities in the world. So there is nothing to question about competence. The only problem we see now, Dr. Shenge remind me of my law professor in property law, where I used to forget. He never ever know how to explain anything simple because he learned so much book. He just not able for explain. I remember one time, then he had stopped teaching law. This my professor, he be judge. When I was a superior court judge, he been in a one town called Wilmington. So I happened to be in that town. So now I said, I go visit Professor Fullwood, because I always call him professor, even though he was a judge. So I go, we talk, I get ready for left. I be go clear a car at the port of Wilmington, so I be need insurance for go on the car. So now I say, Professor, I say, someone told me about an insurance agency called Dupree Insurance Agency. Do you know anything about it? And Professor Full would say, of course, yeah, I do. You know, I'm a boy from Wilmington. So now I say, can you tell me how to get there? When we learned Professor Fullwood, I try for say the way we give me the direction. I just want direction to this insurance agency. He said, as you both, the two of us are standing right here. He said, if you take a look at about 80 degrees to the right, and you walk towards the first door and go 145 degrees to the left, it will take you down to the stairways and perpendicular to the to that stairway, the first stairway, would be an exit. So I'm standing there, listening to my professor. They talk, just for give me direction for go to this insurance agency for come at the courthouse. Either use 80 degrees, 145 degrees, perpendicular. I'm saying, boy, Professor Fullwood has not changed one bit. Too much book. So I just follow the signs. The signs say exit, I follow the sign. I reach at the first floor, I meet somebody. I said, do you know by chance where Dupree Insurance Company is? The person said, right over there. So waiting to take me, Professor, for explain to me with perpendicular and everything, somebody just simply tell me right over there. So this is what you are seeing here. Because this explanation is so confusing, you therefore be at the level of Dr. Senge for really understand what he was trying to explain to the rest of us who are not that easy to understand things. Because what you may understand is what you say, he said the total number of people and we take the exam go up. The total number of people and we pass the exam, according to him, that go up too. So therefore, the result not bad, because even though the only reason we make then get it look like less people than pass percentage wise, because more people then take the exam. So more people take the exam, so the percentage is high because more people pass. So from a layman's standpoint, from me on standpoint, what you mean to say is simple. If 100 people then take the exam, let's break it down. If 100 people then take the exam, 70 people pass, then get a 70% passing rate, then get a 30% failure rate. By the same equation or example, if 1,000 people weigh now the denominator, well, the total number of people that way take the exam, if now 1,000, then 300 people pass. Even though that 300, the number is more than the 70 way pass, where the 100 and take them. Even though you get 300 people and way pass this time, yet that 300 day percentage wise, now less improvement, now less success rate. So therefore, the 300 people and way pass, their own group perform worse than the 70 people and way pass, where 100 people and go take the exam. Let me repeat again. If 100 people and take the exam, 70 people pass. Now 70% of the people who pass. Mm-hmm. Then get a 30% failure rate. Mm-hmm. If 1,000 people and take the exam, 700 people fail, 300 people pass. Now of course, that 300 day, then Boku pass the 70. But percentage-wise, even though more people pass this time, percentage-wise, then perform poorly, the result is poorer. So the 300 percentage. So in all,
yes. So in all, the number of people will pass no matter it go by the number of people.
By the percentage, exactly.
So the percentage now they present how many people pass. Exactly. Because you can get 1,000 people, only 300 pass, but you can get 100 person, 70 pass. The percentage go high past the one we make 1,000 people with 300 number pass. Because even though not 300, but yeah, 70 people pass, but the percentage, because of the people that will take the exam, the percentage. So now that they try to understand where Dr. Senge been try to explain to me, but you know, we not be the get them, but this is how we the book and don't say, it no matter the amount of people, it depends on the amount of people that will take the exam, but the amount of the result, the people that will pass the exam, now they calculate the percentage by. So exactly. Now the question be, who that's not the people them were responsible for all this problem what we picking and the way they call, because we're picking and they left behind. We they see, because I don't tell this story, and I tell her again. I get my sister in Pekin. We've been there from whatever. I mean, they go convent because we've been there for pool and a convent for that. When they go convent, convents now they leave go a land book as sabi, and also you get the basic foundation, you get all the good stuff. But she was trying to write an essay, and I did read the essay, and they asked her, what did you try for write? She was all over the place. And I was like, what is this? This now like 10 years ago, or they talk or now. So and I was like, who signed this? And it had gotten worse. Education don't get worse because of many reasons behind this system where we get. What did they cause them? What did they cause them? Where happen? Where because you they begin from nursery school. I know say we go nursery, then we get nursery. Some people and still they go nursery now. Some people able afford for them picking for go nursery. Now that's when they begin learn A B R B B A S E's I S E's E's was where when. Now that's when they begin know synonyms and all that stuff. You they begin learn primary school. They begin get the basic fundamentals of English language, for they able to learn, for they get comprehension level, for they able to do phonics, for break it down, reading, all that kind of stuff. And I remember I been go St. Anne's, then the mother them be they made them call na Catholic school, St. Anne's Convent, na Catholic school. And I remember I not been no say I get dyslexia. Now I can't make her, then diagnose me with that and all that kind of stuff there. But there was a time I was struggling to read. Not that I was stupid, but I go see a word, my brain they go faster than the word I go call on something else. And when we sit on a class, I remember Aisha Johansson when now we all been there one circle, we first go secondary school. And they were fluent readers. They were very fluent for read. And Aisha, where you can read if they do literature or they do by chapter. So by Usai Missy, I can begin count. Okay, after Aisha, then been to Alaji, she's a judge now, Freetown. But then I can begin count, okay, this person, then me. So I say, okay, I'll read the third paragraph. But then if Aisha go before you're gonna miss your count. So you don't know whose paragraph you begin. So I start panicking because I get anxiety, I panic and all that stuff. But not that I was stupid because I was doing good in my grades, but the reading aloud, I cannot read aloud because I had this thing. Even primary school, they can make we stay in for lunch, then we feel say we're stupid. Some kids are not stupid, but they get dyslexic. They are dyslexic, they get dyslexia in reading because you go see the word. If you not notice sometimes and they can begin read, then the word can jumble. That's why I don't like to read aloud too much because it go mumble jumble for me. Then I can begin talk other word, other kind of stuff. But we not saying that done it. But then we have the children that don't have it at all. They're not sabi put stuff together. They cannot do nothing. They cannot put the sentence together for make it make sense. Having dyslexic is different from not knowing. And the foundation of these children are broken. And when they go take exam, they don't even understand what in they take. Then there's also the system where they don't make now, where Ben Kelfala say, they go after teachers. They say no spying, no cheating, no what they call, we see all the malpractice there, what they do. So they're stricter on that. Are those one of the reasons why make them pick here, not do well na this exam, na been the reason this, where they not do well, or na sabi, they not sabi, who's one at the team. Or sometimes some picking them, we're not able differentiate some picking and they panic in an environment of too much people for take exam. So there are many factors where will make sometimes them pick get fake low scores. We don't know. But we know say the education system where we've been they go school, not to the same rights now. not to the same rights now. We they see parents that they bribe money for them picking them, for let them go to school, even though they not say them picking them, for let them push them, they push them. Then when they come, we get products of we don't know nothing, we don't graduate school, we don't graduate college, we see picking and they sleep with professor and teacher them, for let them get grades. We see down there, so the system, they don't have the basic fundamental of comprehension, of understanding of what you do. So if you don't understand what you read, you cannot pass the exam. So down there at the end, then the conditions of service, the teachers are not getting paid. So the teachers are taking bribes. The teachers are selling market, selling their stuff. And all their foundation, and there it's a broken foundation. So if they try for fix and for low get it's a shame, it's a disgrace. And because this one now incident now they will say we don't take on at least 1 year now, and I don't take at the office, all the responsibility now don't lie now it. And I can give that credit, they say. I know he goes out there because I follow him on Twitter. I see some things that he does. He's trying to fix the system. He comes from a family that are educators, because I know down there for sure. Say in Grandpa, I've been teacher Lahai, we call him teacher Lahai, and in Grandpa, I've been teacher Lahai, and then it kind of gets a people of family, and that is why one of the reasons he said he come back for can give back to talent, and he love a passion for help for change the school system. So Mr. Shillon, I don't understand how we for come up at this thing. What he get for take? It get for take for let we able come up at this rotten and broken education system. Let we picking they go able for produce more. Let them go able for they in an environment of learning, better classroom environment, school supply, textbooks, because teacher they not even get textbook for teach the picking, and the picking they not even able to get textbook. You get for buy a pamphlet from the teacher. You get for buy, if you not buy the pamphlet, you are failed. Teacher them they go to school and they sell them food or gari or whatever, make food. If the pikin not buy, then go fail them. All those things, it's not the condition is not conducive for learning. They're not get better classroom, better bench than for sit down. All those stuff. It has been neglected for a long time. And the people from the remote villages to the city is so breakdown. And I know say they concentrate more on the cities, but the schools in the cities too are just I mean I don't know. I'll pass it on to you, sir. I really don't know, because it is heartbreaking.
Well, I think several things are wrong here. First of all, Dr. Senge, I don't know how old it be, but I believe say a little bit older than them. In the old days, when you get people them, like the current Speaker of Parliament, then your age group, and the one that will precede them. I mean, if we try to see the root cause now the way we turn the opposite direction, where with man give we independence, we will not take the independence baton seriously as we should have taken it to engage in the race towards progress. In the old days, when I say old days, not too long ago, in the 60s, in the 50s, almost everybody who went to Frabe College was on scholarship if you're a Sierra Leonean. Almost everybody. In fact, I think everybody. Because going to Frabe College, you were given a scholarship to go there. Dana 1. 2, when you were in Form 6, and when you went to Frabe College, you were given a stipend as a student at Frabe College. In addition to the scholarship, they give you monthly stipend. This is not a system we wait man and put in place, not a system where we inherit. In addition to that, when you there up at 6, Form 6, then they give you stipend. Okay? So what will happen? When we come now, what will take over? We decide, say, we for break all, and I mean, there are so many other things then. Where the white man left Giwi, when we take over from independence, what we supposed to improve, what we not do? in the early days, nobody sit on the floor. We'll get nice classrooms, good teachers, and all kinds of benefits for good education. Okay, when we take over, we find a way for scrap the scholarship system. This is what I'm complaining about. We brothers and sisters, then we come on a poor family. We for no better. When they take over, instead of the improve what in the which man left Giwi, for corrupt motive and purely selfish reasons, now improve the system where we take over from. Instead, we just abandon everything. So we not stop there. Instead of we begin for pay with teachers, then for put more emphasis, we will get a lot of teachers training colleges then, where some people, they not be go secondary school and just go teachers training college, where they come out, then get skills, how for teach, how for impart knowledge to students then. All that they begin to go down. Okay? Then change the system. We'll move from Cantab to GCE, then Ireland, they call this one WAEC, and on and on and on. Fine. But there is nothing to a name if the name no gets substance. You see, all this name change, it sound attractive, or what we will call Falamakata, because our country says so. But I keep reminding people that Sierra Leone, this Sierra Leone, will be the Athens, will be the educational center, will be the center of gravity for education. Now, West Africa, this country, we will come out, we the fed so back for put in that center there. So when we begin for take privileges from picking them, the privileges we wait man give we for educate, and then we pass them over to brothers. Then we come on a poor background. We end up becoming teachers. We end up becoming ministers. We end up becoming this. They don't see the need for give scholarship. They don't see the need for make poor people and go for a big college. They see the need for stop all of that, for take all that privilege. They see the need for take stipend away from people in the Form 6, you know? And this is what will lead we to this. Because a good level we understand the history of the country. Okay? These people are not trying. If then they try, to me the solution is easy. In this country, even doctors, everybody, by nature, want to go in a big city. Particularly with all land we book. If you're a lawyer, you want to set up your practice in a big city. If you're a doctor, you want to set up your practice in a big city. What you need to do in America, for encourage doctors then for serving a rural area, then they pay you more money. Then they give you other incentives, like for say, then tell you, say, okay, if you get college loan, if you go work in a so and so place for 3, 4, 5 years, we'll go wipe your college loan for encourage people them. So I heard a member of parliament, Honorable Lamin, they talk about teachers and principals and the, I don't know how you call it, but I get the feeling saying that the rural area teachers them. What are we doing for encourage people and for teaching at the rural areas? What is the incentive we they give them? Common sense dictates that for you forget people and for going to the rural area, you for pay them and you for pay them well.
No,
you pay them money out of which them for leave them for be able to take care of them family.
They used to do that when they send people to the countryside for go teach upline. Then they give them a little bit more incentive because I know that.
But these incentives are not exist anymore. This is not the problem. Yeah. They are taking all.
But the good teachers don't go to the villages. Only like sometimes the person will just done GCE, now you're not teaching at the village.
Okay, but this is the problem. So we brothers then wait in a position of power. We for know better. We for do more for the succeeding generation and give them the foundation where they need. Now when they're in a power, they don't care. I mean, that's what it boils down to. They not to see where how for improve the system is how for exploit the system. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what it is. Okay, and as long as we continue for take the attitude there, things will not get better. Because in this age of technology, where then they say, okay, first of all, why would not things say teachers them forget livable wages. Teachers them, when in a big city or so, you get for pay a teacher enough money where for survive on.
Yeah.
You not go pay a teacher money where somebody go try for game 50,000 leons. That na bribery that anyway you could take. You know, we first of all, if we're serious, we for invest where it is needed. Education is a major place. So we for begin for not only hire good teachers, train good teachers, but we for pay them. Because teachers are people too. They get family too. Just like I always think, say, police don't take bribe because the salary we don't get just no amounts to anything. Okay? I even advocate parliamentarians for be paid more. Let them do their duty. But if we want to stamp out corruption, we'll get for put more money where we put more money. So before, when they create a structure, because the average picking back home, I mean, I'm not so sure, based upon what you may know about SALONE, if we get the atmosphere is right for beginning for study. Would you talk about education? How many libraries we get in Freetown? How many? For a long time, the British Library number would use. We not even get shame enough for build libraries. In today's world, a city like Freetown should have, at the very least, 4 solidly built, good-sized libraries. In today's world, every small town, Waterloo, Lumley, Aberdeen, Godrich, all them places in there, all the way upline. Forget libraries. If we're serious about education, when me be there, now one library no more did it. I don't know if they get more than one library now. But now left Freetown. How can you have a capital city with just a library? How can we have good education without a museum? By now we should have museum of arts, museum of science, the museum of history. So we can be serious when we talk about education. Okay, so I don't know what we're talking about. Because we all did in this country, I would just see what in the people. How you get in this modern world, these things don't exist. We talk about education. You know? So before me even talk about the parents then can't last.
Yeah.
Because we on system, and Dr. Senga talked about that the last time, and I was hoping before accept with invitation.
Yeah, we'll try to get that. We're working on it.
Even get parents-teacher meeting. Not that we on style that one day. Teacher and parents are not the meet. You know, they call the parents then when at this country that we know. Who picking in their school, there are particular days set for go parent-teacher meeting, ask questions, and all this kind of thing. So we are miseducating who picking them. We are uneducating them. And the blame lies in the government because a lot of these guys are being given position of which not to their capability nowadays, not to their specialization nowadays. There are lots and lots of people who have masters and PhD in school administration, in education. That it strikes me as these are more appropriate set of people who in their own line of work nowadays. But for just take somebody with a PhD in chemistry and make a minister of education, well, hey, they might do the job. But I don't think, say, you know, got nothing to do with the person in education. Very well qualified people. Don't get me wrong. A PhD is not an easy degree. It's a very hard-earned degree. But if you take a PhD holder, you put on a field where you not belong, in performance will be very minimal.
It is too many challenges, too long of a neglect for the system, and it therefore build again the foundation. The foundation that we education they team up on. And they laugh because one part we brought a SALONE force. I don't know if I think He said, Bokute, we just they talk of the old, we they talk on the plantation days. The plantation days in Sierra Leone, then we go say better pass the one where we they take care of ourselves.
Well, that's the mistake, because Sierra Leone and the country where the past better pass the present. So
we Sierra Leone in past, better pass the present.
That person that just doesn't get it. If he gets it, he will understand.
They don't have nothing to compare to. That is the thing that sometimes I don't hold them, these youngsters, the younglings, I don't hold them accountable or responsible a little bit, because, you know, if you don't get what they compare to, you would not know and understand what they talk about. When you compare the system in the time where we grow up, the education, the master was not there again. The slave master, we don't go, but we don't set the stage. When we say we able to take care of ourselves, we colonial master. We say we able for take care of ourselves. But then give all we the go is going down slope. We cannot rise. Because who side the left we by now we for don't go up a little bit. But when you measure who side we've been there and who side and then now, it is far different. That is why, you know, they're not going to understand them. Say, they're old people and they talk old thing. But if you don't get something for compare, a scale for compare, how would you know what's in the difference? The education system suck na Sierra Leone. Just like how they say the government responsible, because I remember in Shaka Steven then before I left Freetown, they begin change their school them. They say they not make into government school. They begin pull all the school them. I will give it to one principal of a school in grammar school where retired not a couple of years ago, the grammar school, then principal. That is the principal that served for a long time. I forget his name. That was the man when he retired, the whole Freetown, everybody, every Pekin, it's every parent, it's every Pekin by name. He was a mentor, a person that held standard. That's why grammar school, they pull good results then because you get to provide the environment. And to the old boys of grammar school, where they're all over the world, they are supporting their schools. And that's why school like we own them, then they try for copy from grammar school, because governments cannot do the work of the thing. Then so we are taking over, say, let us help our country. So if we not belong in a school, give to your alumni, create a group, una fix and bring the change what una want to see. Because some people don't know. Some people, if you don't know, you don't get nothing for compare to. What you get, you think they're doing better because that's all you know. But when we don't know good things of Sierra Leone, that's why we're comparing and saying it is down. How do we fix it? How for fix and let we get the change, let we pick in the able team up with the rest of the people there in the other side then. And if you notice, when we Canada then country here, especially after the war, when people then come, God bless the war in a way, because it was a blessing in disguise. Because they say in all things, to me, in my own understanding, don't come at me for that, but to me, understanding, that good came out of it. And people left, because do you imagine if people had not been left alone, if other countries had not been opened the door for make them program them, where they make and people then left their country for come educate themselves and try for provide for the family that where they leave behind, how would Sierra Leone be today? Could you have imagined? We don't even have to imagine, but thank God for, you know, certain things happen. We not celebrate where people then die. Because every life is valuable. Every property damage, every life is valuable. But the war opened the door and make people that were sorry for we. They open we country, say, una can our country, una can resettle. They open a lot of resettlement for the one that we can after the war, and the one that way they win DV, they begin do them program for let people then come, let them come in as much as they help we, but then they develop their own country. But we the can now, we're not able to go back to we country, because we country in condition is not good enough, because that's not how we left it. And that's not the country we want to be. You don't want to be in any environment, any country where you're not born for that kind of environment. Then you go put yourself and subject yourself to that. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants comfort. Everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants security in life. So, you know, I mean, we're not going to understand, but you go get there. I pray you get there, my brother.
Well, the thing is, in the plantation days, according to this person, I have to go back, in the plantation day, we get Sierra Leone Airways. In the modern day, we don't. In the plantation days, according to this person, we get railway. In modern Sierra Leone, we don't. In the plantation day, we get internal air flights from Freetown to Bo, to Kenema, to Yengema. In modern Sierra Leone, we don't. In the plantation days, we get Sierra Leone Produce Marketing Board, when they be responsible for export of agricultural products. In modern days, we don't. In the colonial days, we get what you call the Sierra Leone Agriculture Department. We get cacao show. We get forest industries.
Yes.
In the modern days, we don't. In the colonial days, we get what you call you even get a situation where we make motoka in Bo. There was Michael Motors. We build buses. In the colonial, in the plantation days, according to this person, we began brewery, we began Royal Tobacco Company,
yes,
we began PZ, we began
Jeanette, Bata, Kingsway Chemist.
Kingsway. So it is a little bit. I think this person, when he talks, when he send that message, he need to understand when you use the phrase plantation days, it should mean the backward days. But these were our best days, is what we're trying to tell you guys. Right now, we're for dog day way ahead. And let me also remind this person, in the plantation days, Sierra Leone, now we gave the first and only double-decker bus. Now West Africa. This is the only place, we'll not get none of them anymore. In the plantation days, now in Sierra Leone, now be the Athens, the center of gravity for education. The issue will not be the arise. Then the plantation day, for the person we say them plantation day, we keep talking about the plantation days. There is a reason why we keep talking about plantation day, because it's like somebody will get money, he keep referring, then now he beg a treat, he keep talking about the good days, you keep saying to her, you keep the talk about them days, then we think be good. Because he gets a point of reference. He does see good times and bad times. We've seen the good times. When Sierra Leone 50 years ago was ahead in infrastructure development that United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, they all them places in the Sierra Leone be there ahead of them in terms of physical structure. So anybody will say we should be proud of where we are, you either don't understand what we're talking about, or you not give a damn. And may I say, for people who would listen, somebody pointed to my attention the other day, there are three sets of people, political scientists, then will tell you now. Three sets of people in a country, in a nation. You get one set of people where they call the idiots, and not in a derogatory way. They don't use the word, this is not a me own creation, this is something I read. The idiots, now the group of people who don't care. They don't caring about themselves, they aren't too much in the moment. You know, they live by the day, they look out for themselves, they don't care whether country is good, country is bad. Life is fine, and for their own personal enjoyment. The other set of people, they refer to them as the tribalists. They care about their group. If they belong to a tribal group, they see themselves in that context there. If they belong to a certain community, they see themselves in that context there. They know that group they know more than care about. Oh, me and this man who come at the same tribe. Oh, me and this man at the same village were born. Me and, you know, so I go look out for them. So now then your concept down there of society, now then your social concept down there. Every nation get just 10% of the people that we care. You know, 10%. We not belong to them two groups in there. And that 10% they then they take the responsibility for the 90% and move the 90% there into progress. what you would struggle for now, and that good 10%.
Find the 10% of the people that will take us to the next level.
90% of it really matter. We could get them kind of comment here.
Yeah.
Life is good as long as
it says Sierra Leoneans, we were subjects, not owners. Let me tell you this. My grandfather, he worked for USC Motors, where in days he worked for other companies. He gets shares. My mother right now collects those shares. He gets shares, gets stocks where they buy from the company them. And 30 day, because then company they where they ask about who people they were been there in those days. They had stocks. They worked for the white man where they own the business, but they allow them for be part owners. And my grandfather in stocks from Oriel Tobacco Company, from USC Motors up till now, my mama they go pick up, my mama they go again, my sister they go take on a bank for them every year. In shares they come in where they do dividend and all that stuff. So this is not for say we want for go under Whitman because we're under Whitman right now. Because look at the elections. EU get for Kande, American Embassy get for Kande. When we are calling, people are calling on the international community to come there because we're not able to take care of ourselves. We cannot be our own brothers keepers. We cannot allow ourselves for grow. We are holding and pulling everybody back. We are pulling, we're shouting, we're pulling. We are not growing. Everybody for themselves and their family. And it is not about the community. And if we not change them where you are, you know, because they're good white people there where they come. If we be partner with a white person, we go get partnerships. We go get people there where they in front of where they lead. We're going to negotiate good deals for we people there. But we have ministers, governments, presidents that they come after come. They are not negotiating good things for the people. So why the master will come, he go can't take and go because we open the door and we not sabi negotiate for what thing will benefit to us, sustainable to we people. That is the problem. And if we don't see that, and this is a vision, if you don't see it, it will not ever come to pass because you get for see it, for work on it, for believe it, for let it come to pass. And it is like, when they talk on it, we had student flights, where maybe they go school, student flights, we go on planes to England for 1 week, 2 weeks, come back to Freetown, holiday term, long holiday. We do that. We do all, you know, it is not the colonial, it is the good times, just like how they enjoy in America. So just like how we've been in America, just like how it was in America. Just like how, that's the kind of Sierra Leone I remember. Because I was born in the 60s and I enjoyed it to the 70s and the 80s I left for comfort, and Freetown kind of make it. So that's why we talk. We don't talk because we idle. We just talk for let una see what we want and usha we for go. What we for desire better, we for demand better from the one they will put. We for try for put the people that we care about the people, not about themselves. What thing will change the people? What thing will increase the people? All them company, middle class was good in America because they provided jobs for all them people then for work. So we people we get middle class, upper class people then we were living well. We did a flush toilet, we did a upguarded, we were living well. It is not like we were not living well. Now that's the try for church. Because the poverty now within Sierra Leone, the lack of everything, the hospital, the schools, everything is broken. Everything is about corruption. And the corruption is so blatant and loud and bold. Everything, because the quality of service is not good. The people that were working not good. The advantage, they were all kind of rubbish. You know, so sometimes it gets frustrating, but we're being optimistic here. We say the struggle continues unabated, but there is still hope. We can do this. We can come out of this. We can dig ourselves out of this. Rollins, once upon a time, saw a vision. He fly up in plane. May his soul rest in peace now in Ghana. He fly around. He say, I will not sit here and let my people suffer like this. Why should one person leave a high and mighty and the other one, they sleep not long, they sleep not gutter, they sleep now waiting and call. You know, so if we don't have that vision, it's not about bringing the other side down or condemning and making loud. Not what if we for do for progress go before? Because when the other one come back now, the same thing until we get a change of system, until we get progressive minds, until we get people where they see the future, we will never go anywhere. Mr. Shilo, sir.
If I may ask just very quickly, the person will say, when they talk about the plantation day, I will hope he will call and give you suggestions. I will go move from in your own view.
Salon Force, Mr. Salon Force.
I wish you could tell we how for move. Let's tell you about some improvement. So since in your own thinking that now the plantation days now and then the purpose of this show now for let we talk about what is good for Australians. So come up with ideas. Maybe we're missing everything. You may come up with some ingenious ideas that the country needs that nobody has been able to see. So since the old days, now the plantation days, or are you content with the way things are? Maybe you are. If you are, fine. Are you entitlements? But some of us, Senator Robert Kennedy say, sometimes people can look at the situation and say, why? Others look at the same situation and they ask, why not? So sometimes some people look at the cup, then see a half full. Some people look at the same cup, then see a half empty. So my brother, maybe some of us see a half full, and we think we raise the level.
Yeah.
But if you think, say, what we have, where we are, is all we deserve or need, well, so be it.
Thank you. No, take a caller. Mr. Dauda Fofana, I just want to give you a shout out. You say Natco Factory too. Yes, we had Natco Factory.
We're not call everything.
Yeah, we're not able to call everything, but in the member, because now they say Natco Factory too. You know. So we get a caller. Good evening.
Refinery, all I want to do, we're not calling.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, caller. Good evening, name please, and who side they call we from?
Yeah, Auntie Farima, good evening. This is Almami, the call from Pennsylvania.
Yes, Mr. Amami, my brother. How are you doing, sir? Go ahead. See what you there for public conversations.
Yeah, I just want to start first with constituency 101 by election. Then before I give me other contribution. First of all, just like we talk, we know we priorities them. Now we look at this by election. One old by election, and don't so we have all kind of arguments na social media, they make rallies them. But we not the civil society, not the media na Sierra Leone, able bring the two candidates them. For can ask them questions in a debate, make them tell we waiting at them platform. Exactly. Nothing like that will happen. So not even know waiting at the platform of the two candidates that waiting in the run for. All we know that we are fighting for APC, fighting for SLPP over that seat. Nothing. So we don't even know with priority. We just choose people and they go. Now back to this conversation, because it's like we don't get like a debate. We try the people and the constituencies them. And well-landed people are able to ask them two people and they question. I'm telling you, until then two people and they know for camp at the rally. Because some man go say, no, the question, no, the answer, not the answer for them. Now, back to this talk of we not being independent or this. The problem, we lack the culture of maintenance. When colonial masters and left with the population be small, then left we with facilities that we've been doing for take care of the population. We never expand them facilities than they, and more pressure don't come into their resources than they, then we did and finish them, we did broke them down. Let me take a look at the water system at Freetown. The colonial masters then built their water system for the population of the city at that time. But we don't get a visionary leadership after colonial masters are left, we see. Now we look how the city they grow, how they continue for expand their resources here. Nobody's thinking about them. I still remember when I was a little boy in McKinney, you go up the Mena Hill reservation, the building that was the colonial master and left, and they called the reservation. They've been so fine and net. Them buildings, then they don't broke, they don't fordom everything after the war. We will never get a culture of maintenance. You go to some ministry building there. How the colonial masters left them. Some of them up to now are the same structure. We don't modernize them. Some of them, they don't even paint some part of them. So the culture of maintenance, now that's not a problem, and visionary leadership. Like the education I want to talk about. Education is very good for building the human capital of any nation. But we therefore change the mentality. The beginning they feel this was. It's not all about getting the 5 subjects going to university. Not to that in the issue. How can we build the middle power, the skills, the idea of them here? How can we empower trade institutions? There are people in America who never darkened the doors of any college. They went to trade school. Then they make more money than a professor where somebody will get PhD where they teach in a university.
Right.
We need carpenters then. We need masons there. We need fitters there. We need welders there, engineers there. How can we empower the trade institution? We are in this portion, we go do engineering, civil engineering, you go do any trade school. Rather than you going to private college, you go read history, government, you come, you're going up and down, you not get a job. How can these people be job creators rather than job seekers? This is the mentality we need for begin to study picking them for modern data SS3 exams. Telling them that if you fail these exams, you know, means that's not the end of you, the road. We couldn't have somebody that commit suicide. Because the culture we get when you picking for go private college, it no matter what you go study there, but as long as he has gone to private college, we consider him an educated somebody or a successful person. No! You can become a carpenter, a fitter, and make them in life. More than somebody will go for a college. So we have to change that mentality. We have got the free education, also need for look into the technical and trade institutions that empower them, put money there, where people can go there, get the certificate, and become job creators. I was in Sierra Leone when African Mineral and other companies then go there. I'm telling you, for even somebody for drive crane at Guinea, then they go pull them in Ghana. Some maintenance people have the maintenance machine that they pull in South Africa. Pay them good money. Why? Because we not get a human capital. So we really need for rethink and restructure everything. So thank you very much. Now that I'm a contribution.
Oh my God, Almami, my brother, you have nailed it. You have nailed it. Thank you so much. Now take the other caller. We will come to you, Mr. Shilon. Keep your thoughts. Let's take another caller. Caller, good evening, name please, and where you call from.
Hello, Mina. Good evening all to this noble station.
Yes,
Mina,
sir. Good evening.
Yusuf Toure from Kuwait. You know, get me?
Yeah, Mr. Toure from Queens, you say?
From Kuwait.
Oh, Kuwait. Okay, go ahead.
This kind of educative program.
Yes,
please,
sir.
I don't follow up for the past 1 hour.
Yeah.
Mr. Senge, actually, we not doubt him. A higher educated man. But let me say something. Never mind all waiting you don't put in place, so what you don't talk. The reality is the reality. We person get money I like to make a business for and say it is show. Money not mix from both sides, not mix from false. This education system, nothing, the full way for can't give free education. You go ask the other one because they're within a political, but we're not so politician. It's not go easy. I let David Senge do all kinds of things. It no go possible. It no go possible at all. This kind of number of failure and it get for continue because we're not been so matured for this free education. There is anything when are free. Free the state people, the number of people that don't come for now pass me. Anything when are free, easy for you get a very good quality inside there. I stop there so far. I thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And good morning at Kuwait now. I know saying I'm morning to you. And God bless you.
Yeah,
Come again.
Exactly. Now, good morning. Now, work at the work and I make I will get this program.
Yeah. So, must come again. Tell me, Paddy, then come, Leo man, join. We talk on issues of SALONE. Thank you, my brother.
My body power, will do that.
Yeah,
my power. Thank you very much. Thank you for accepting me.
Okay, we lost the other caller, Mr. Shilo. You know, you're waiting. We call her and say we don't lost one.
If I can just comment quick.
Yes, please.
I think Alamami, we talk about the candidates then. Mm-hmm. That was a point well made. Mm-hmm. With all this noise, we have no idea what this candidates stand for. Because the people then they run the system, wait for bringing candidates here to a forum, at least have 2 or 3 debates. To talk to the people and what you stand for, what you plan for do for this constituency, what you make you feel say them for vote for you, not the other person. What you make you feel say the other person not for be voted, we lost that track there completely, and it makes so much sense. And this is where common sense comes into play. It's not a book. People don't just think about that. So everybody make a lot of noise, everybody talk or vote for me. But you see, people are so into the APC, SLPP. They not try for talk about because the candidates if you want to run for a position in the candidacy, you for explain why it is necessary Whose vision you get for that area there? What do you plan for do? What do that place they forget, where they not get? Where you plan for bring for them? What in like that area they in contribution to the overall good of the country? So with that information there, what are you an APC person? You go see something valuable in the SLPP candidate and the other way around. But we misstand it completely. So the election don't take place, but nobody knows what these people stand for. Nobody knows what they plan for do for the country. The free education thing, it may be that it wasn't well thought out, but I am not one of those who will condemn the current government about that, because something have to start somewhere. So if the president, the current government, start with free education, if we keep the trend in a progressive lane, or anybody will come afterwards, if we keep that trend, things will be improved. It is not fair or enough for say, well, the man say he go feed people in 3 times a day, but I want a day to feed them. But if the person that way to feed 1 time a day, now they not be to eat at all. This person way to feed them 1 time a day, even though he promised 3 times a day, now progress. Mm-hmm. So instead of we focus on saying that 1 time a day to feed the people, let we talk about what else we need for do for feed the people in 3 times a day with the people in need. So the free education, I cannot see how we will condemn them. I cannot see how we will use that as a reason become more picking and take. Of course, that in fact indicates say a lot of picking are not be to go to school, and among them picking the day. This is the thing people need to realize. Among them poor picking and they want to be to go to school, we free make them to go to school. There is a David Senge. Mm-hmm. You know, there is a Dennis Sandy. There is an Abbas Bundu. And among them picking the day. These people need to know that. So then picking they want to be to go to school, what we call them parents them poor. If man you tap a pan body, you not get job. How you go put picking at school? I mean, it's not a common sense. So if more people take the exam because they get free education, we will not forget to condemn the government because they give free education. It's like almost saying, now you fault. Because you give the one the opportunity to not be getting. So therefore, let me the performance is less. No. These are the challenges we for meet and stand up to our obligation. And those in the position of power, if they cannot meet them challenges, then they're not fit for the job. How you think say the Chinese then they feed 1.4 billion people and take care of a population like that? How you think India they feed 1.2 billion people? You know? So I mean, these are the challenges. We get poor people there. We get uneducated people there. So if you want to be minister, you want to be politician, now the challenge then they don't take the position that you begin complain about, they say free education, I make all these free people and come in now with people and take the exam. These are Australians. They get as much right for take exam, for take advantage of what the government they provide for them. And like I say, among them picking and they will not be to go to school because their parents will not get money. Let me not forget for say, a watchman can born a genius, a taxi driver, what you call keke driver, you know,
a street boy,
can born genius. So we all owe a duty to that country there. In fact, therefore, pass law, any picking of school going age, if you're not in a school, then for all the parents are responsible. Because like this state where they, you cannot keep a kid in the house. Whether it's illegally, then for go school, if they have school going age. Or for discourage child beggars, picking enough for the begging a treat. Because these are the future of the country. Well, some of we think say we don't make and we don't care for all them poor people there. So me and me a problem I with them. Me a minister now, me a lawyer, me a doctor. Forget about that time where I come out all the other poor people and the other poor picking they wouldn't go born. You know, I don't reach this far, then go try it and you know. This is the attitude. So I'm not willing to condemn the government or criticize the government in terms of free education. If when I get a better idea, I want to suggest and contribute to it, and I will contribute it. And enough will be based on party loyalty. Thank you.
I want to show a video quick. I want to show a video. I pull on Facebook. My sister get a foundation of Freetown where they support and all that. We can go around different villages. Them. So we go Victoria Villages. 2018. My sister go Victoria Village, and there's another little village next to Victoria, but na Watade, na Bond area, and na Watade between them, the two villages. And I want to show you a video quickly. I want to see a little area where they for build bridge. These are school picking them, trying to go to school. Then come over and because my sister didn't get a celebration for the picking them, all the school picking them, same things and all that. But then they were going back. Then they go back and forth every day for can school. So how would you every day want to come to school if you say not all picking or can school? When I watch quick this video where then they play, not when I watch how they picking the mode of transportation where then they use. And this is the neglect of our governments. I put S because they work it big, they work it boku, they work it waiting and call safe. And this is the transportation of them picking them every day back and forth. Comrade and they put them picking up board in the dream of say they want them picking them become somebody better. That's why we sit here to talk, because we want to make every picking forget opportunity. It is their right. And the country where they for able to give opportunity to these children. And this is how the children, please, technical team, play that video there for me, if you can, if you don't already. It's just a quick, less than 1 minute video. And
well, while we try to play the video.
Okay, while they try for do let we go to another Let we go to another topic quick.
Okay.
Let we go to this mayor topic because don't take time. Let's go to this mayor.
Yeah.
Let me go to the mayor topic. Let we left the education first. We'll go play the video for now. But let me go to this mayor topic. We see a video of our people in Sierra Leone demonstrating, say, work no day, we want sell, work no day. Then go to the mayor in office. Then they go ask the mayor why the mayor make the come out, and we read the mayor and respond. I want let we talk on that because there is a there's a battle that is going on between the mayor and the central government for power struggle. We don't ever get this in a Freetown before. We don't ever know of it. If it happens, if we don't know of it. The mayor will maybe remember Akibobet, where Akibobet been there, where they clean up them Makituman, push them out, and all them kind of thing, and they for sale, let them go in a corner for sale, then they Kisi Street able. But then we watch, they don't take over Kisi Street. So there's a battle, there's a struggle of power here between the mayor's office and the central government minister of local business. And I don't know what thing that happened, but let we watch for we safe. We'll play that video there first.
People they demonstrate because of them train them for the market under the government. The man they watch them
When I come, because we have been one for no, if na me do this. Yes. I don't explain to una say no to me do this. Yes, I don't get no idea about this. And I know say this here, if I wait I write, because I just don't write a message. I write say, when you want to do anything, the most important part na consultation and stakeholder engagement. Yes. Even we as authority, I make all time with the work with the Traders Council, with the work with the chairman, with the chair lady them. Because for let something succeed, the person that we're involved, now all for plan them. Because we know say we need space by the road. We know say the motor car they get for pass, people they get for pass. But we also know say when I get for feed on a picking them. Yes. So now that you get for fend the way, how on two the balance. So waiting at the suggest now. Me now, me go do me go make me own. But I wanna una also know say una know say me like just council. And when it comes to the central government, I will make my point. I will make the point. But overall, not to me get the police. When you see there's then talk about orders from above, they not even say let them call because we don't use for work together in the past. Last year we didn't work together. But not to the first 10 days. Wait, now the third 10 days in recent times. Yes. We pass at the hearing, now social media say, now so don't happen, now so don't happen. This month they broke. This month back they broke. So what I want to say now, una go to Traders Council, okay? Because Traders Council now una own lobby organization. Me as the mayor, myself go do my own investigation and myself go make my own calls. Because now we all know that it's Freetown here. We get to find ways to work together. We're going to be effective. Yes. We don't go do just how many weeks? 3 weeks before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas. Yes. You said hundreds of people. Yes. You just abuse them. Abuse them. It's genuine and people are in a station where they're
I put me under my job, people are tired, self me are tired. Salon problem, we say we go able for work together, for work we say, Papa God, Mr. Shilo, in a lawyer, so they get this lawyer where they call public, whatever act, government, local government act, where they don't put before, because we know say, in the past, now the authority of the mayor, now they host the central government. The mayor now in charge of the city. Now in the kind of the what they go for the city, but I don't know what they go on. I don't know what they go on. So I don't know if you go able to help with people they understand waiting at this lawyer and waiting that they do and how for go about for let they all go able to work together. Well, and everybody able for forget.
Me on take on that local government act there, I think in and of itself, it's a law that is overly broad. It's a law that delegates power to certain central government officials. by Parliament, that Parliament does not even have the power for delegate such laws, and for create such law delegating such powers. And here's my point. The mayor of Freetown is an elected official. He get a council elected by the people. The mayor of Freetown, now the chief executive officer of Freetown, now the chief administrator of Freetown. You cannot have someone who holds an elected office being overruled by a single-handed government official who, in your own discretion, decide for, say, one thing or another. The point here is that this is a complete disenfranchisement of the people. They elect a person, then they pass a law where say that election did not matter. We go appoint somebody who will call a minister of local government, waiting and get the superior power. Now, my problem is, people they need to understand what a constitution is. Sierra Leone get a constitutional democracy. That means the constitution is supreme. Parliament is bound to pass laws that cannot go beyond the authority where the supreme, where the constitution gives Parliament. And when Parliament pass laws delegating powers to a group of people or a certain office holder, where the Parliament, where the constitutional game, now the duty of number one, the legal profession itself for begin for challenge them thing and they. You therefore bring that thing and they challenge the power and the legality of that local government act there. Purely on the area, on the issue of overly broad powers that cannot be constitutional. Because no constitution allows an overly broad exercise of any kind of power. But unless these laws are challenged by lawyers to the Supreme Court, and I think, say, the mayor of Freetown is about time either ask some volunteer lawyers then, or they open a department, a section of competent lawyers, and we will bring this thing and force the Supreme Court for rule on it. And finally, I just think, say, I cannot believe these people are that short-sighted. How can you pass laws prohibiting people from their daily bread, from their activities of earning their daily bread, without the mayor of a city who holds a position to which he was elected, who gets a city council elected by the people? You just get one or two officials then say from above. What is this vagueness about orders from abroad? Is that how we want to run the country? I mean, is that the way a country should be run? I thought these guys who are ministers, everybody get PhD, everybody in a doctor, they know better. I mean, if you take a handful of people with just high school education for run the system, it would seem to me they would do better. Because you don't see anything good coming that these guys are putting into place. You can, and then look at these people being so angry because now their livelihood when they take away from them. You know, without even giving them any opportunity. We cannot give them a job. Their means of livelihood without notice just taken from them. Say they can't sell here, they can't sell here, they can't sell there. So this situation, I mean, they need to stop this power play. Mm-hmm. Because they are cutting their nose for spite them face. When you cut your nose for spite your face, because the mayor is the nose of the face, the country. But when you cut your nose for spite your face because you don't like your nose, because your nose will what? When you cut your nose, you will be uglier, you will look worse. So I hope the local government authorities there, well, minister, understands that Freetown is part and parcel of Sierra Leone. When Freetown look good, Sierra Leone look good. When Freetown is run right, Sierra Leone looks good. So what is this antagonistic attitude towards the city? I mean, to me, doesn't that border on disrespect? You get a mayor when I just ignore her, when I just pass laws and I claim say, oh,
it is the battle of supremacy.
but local government should not have, the Minister of Local Government should not, I contend, should never ever have the authority to overrule the mayor. Never. In fact, the position of local government, a Minister of Local Government, is unnecessary. SALONE will run fine without that ministry there. It ran well over the years. It's a totally unnecessary ministry. All it does is cause confusion, you know? So that's what I have to say. I think the people in the exercise and democratic right for demonstrate because they need a livelihood, and people in the chicken from there.
That is the thing. You say you demonstrate, but then they run after you with riot police.
It's so unfair. But
you know, I mean, we know say like how the mayor rightfully say we all done gains with that traffic where people them, but they don't allow them for the longest time for them a street. After that war, it's like the country going to mayhem and madness and craziness and lawlessness, just beaucoup past all thing. You know, the one that we come on at the villages, kind of the city, everybody's a trader now, business. Just like our brother Almami say, you know, there is no maintenance of everything, no law and order. People that just can't take over the streets of Freetown. I remember the time for Akibo, when them one begin down, the Akibo push them back and then build some market areas, say, una get for go sell in a market area, una can't then the street, because that Kisi Street, what they call now Abacha Street, Kisi Street, they drive the first time, two-way traffic. Now, for past this, it's just like body to body, jump to jump, you know, the crowd, because everybody they try for sell, for make them go eat, for let them pots go boil. You know, the battle of supremacy, and it is the people that suffer. Everybody, they try for flexing muscle, for flexing the peace, for the sake of democracy, for the sake of the people, we get for work together. And this is not the first time this, they don't go after the mayor. It no matter if the mayor na APC, no matter if the mayor na SLPP, the mayor was elected by the people for run the business of the city. Let it allow the woman for doing job and let them respect the law and respect one another. You know, it is a sad day, but we get for come to the end of today because we don't talk on, you know, some issues and many more to talk about. But we go left now, you know, with this video here where they talk of, I'll play and quick first, then I don't know if you go get comment on them. For them picking them, we went to Victoria Village. Well, now my sister go because me not been go that particular one day. I don't go before, but I don't go that particular one day. And these kids, now river then get for the go, now water side and get for cross every day, morning and afternoon for go. And I just look the condition of the way where the Peking they go. They want the way they upline, way born upline, because me na Freetown are born. Maybe una go relate more. And all me have is empathy and sympathy for them Peking they are so. So when I play the video quick for me.
They are loading to go to their own village. These are the Victoria kids.
Una go bien.
Una bye bye ya. Tomorrow ya. Bye bye.
Una wait for this camera. Let una go ta. So I see the boat and tower.
Not bad.
No bad, eh?
How much do we sell? We are like you now. Right now, it's at the top of the I didn't say it is easy. I've been very easy. Maybe company with for travel. We family living. All we know we cover Nakini, like you see na river. And take we go to Mamu. From Mamu they go to India. From India now they connect Nigeria. And if you say we na river, which of course we need to give them don't check we na money and passport. We not get nobody now the fed for. Yeah, anybody we this is yeah, anybody na SALONE we but back not here. We don't know as he say anybody case. But we don't know if that's what it be or not. They are every day we like to get to us. That's when we speak. As I talk to us, so we get flow of the company. So they don't meet at the hospital now. And I see the folk close to us. That's when it's at the door.
C'est really true. C'est really true.
Really sell this half of the people there. It's half of the people only I sell. This is this one they sell out. They have past 100. Yeah, and bigger the big. Anyway, see this message. Like anybody going out to India and bigger the big.
Well, down there now, one of we brother then the video then where they on social media, like how we say one we brother make the same say over 200 people they don't arrest. We're not sure of the number, but that's just in claim we make earlier at the trade. And this is not the video where they go on social media. They say they don't all Nagini and then go Konakri, he call the village them, he call in name, he call the village them, outside them pass them before they reach the Nagini. Now that they not sell, they say they're not rebel, they're not terrorists, and we know say, you know, we vice president, the president of Guinea, Condé don't accuse with vice president say they interfere in an election. So now they don't begin catch we brother them, we sister them, then they not jail, their life not safe. So we they call on whoever get for Yeri, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for begin negotiate for our people them for let them come home because they did nothing wrong but for go find their living and for go find their antumot. This is what we talk about. And we also see the Pekin them where they go now Victoria Village and a boat every day na canoe. There is no safety. That water that canoe they can for them, they can die inside that water they need bridge for connect the villages. Then outside the Pekin then go able if now worker safe then they work for come every day in a school. At least let them get something was safe for them. This is what we talk about. This is not the Sierra Leone where we've been sabi. This is not the Sierra Leone where they will talk, they say plantation master. No, but we still depend on the plantation master. We are still free. We say we want to be independent, but we still are above for them people here. We want money that they would go to. We want anything that they go to. So they get for control, they get for sell we. But if we come with the master plan and we come back say we want to be a partner with you now. Then we go negotiate good deal, we will go better because we're not able to take care of ourselves. And we'll not get the money for them to fix what in broken right now. Again, for take them people and they for come for April because we're not able to do them. We're not able. Then they not the true, not the waiting and call. I like them give you almost money, just like way they put on a bowl. Then go thief waiting, they able thief, then puts the half come for the people, then for later waiting and call. The change for the longest time, we see the change. And not get too much progress. We want progress. We want a better Sierra Leone. We want for the sake of people, their life, the livelihoods of people. Let people able get better life. Every human being deserve a better life, a good living, good basic living. If you're not perfect, say, but let it go. It gets in small thing where they eat. It proud of. I go work. It gets something for it. If you not get safe, you never. Long time when they grow up, I can talk again. I can always talk. Long time when they go up with people and then they give, so they want the way not get. Now then they we meet. They want the way not get. When they cook, then give them. When they get something, then give the one the way not get. So poor be they. But this kind poor way they not Freetown now. We not SALONE. You know the way me they see that kind poor they not there again. Like first time poor be they, but now poor. Trouble poor. All things broken. So I make the talk. We want for let government do good. We want for let President Bill succeed. Me and while any government will come a day for them once they do good. But if you know they do good, we get for talk on that. So till next week, I say again, una go be una own beautiful, una go be una own you. Go make a difference as somebody in life. Go join the alumni. We don't talk on schools. Join your alumni. Give, you know, sometimes easy for give we own people them. But I not say you not get, but squeeze a little bit. If you give $10, if you give $20 a month for help you alumni, for go help for develop your school. They want the way to get primary school, because now mostly in a secondary school. But then primary school will picking them, you know, with a sub like we the Conventonians, and they tell you what we do because I'm the vice president for the Texas branch, and the whole of the diaspora. What the Conventonians do every year, we they send money at Christmas. We buy rest, one buy rest for the teacher. They will give money, will give the principal them for just encourage them. And we they try for do now for fix the school, build another building. That's what we're waiting for. If we not get no salon, they donate to the convent fund. We get we get a GoFundMe, we want build another building. If we not get school, we want donate to there, we donate to we. For me sake, we can donate to the people them. Let we go help with people them for help them come up at this kind of condition. One for try for build better environment, give equipment, them make lab them where the picking them go make. We go for make all them thing in there. So una self give, una self make that difference. Una self be the change we una want for see. You not get for gentry for give, you not get for gentry for help. Give, because not always will they give people them for it. Let we give them, let we provide the environment that where they go able to thrive and become a better person, where they go become independent. You know, we not say they get problem of Freetown, we don't hear all the story, but let we give to the alumni the way they do well. Let we give for let the help for make who get better Sierra, because an educated child is an educated and progressive country, because when they begin the land tomorrow and then at the future of the tomorrows, because we have a lot of lost, I call them lost generation during after that war. Them picking they will not be the go school. They all don't turn big man now, young men, them they all then at the street. Now the politicians then they exploit. We say hands off our children to the politicians. Fatima Bio say hands off our guys. We say on VOS, hands off our children, hands off our youth, hands off them for use they exploit them. Thank you and congratulations to the people of 110 and to the neck boss and to all the participants of the election. To Cady Davis, I say, go do the work of the people that you elected for, and congratulations. Josephine Jackson, go do community service, go do things where go build your community, so next time you people let go see you and make you a better choice. That's how we do. We're not wait no more the time for where they call improve your community, improve your environment, small thing them, they make the change where we all want to see. So till next week, I say go be on beautiful, go be on you. If I dey shine today, not jealous me, because what you do, I don't work on myself, I dey try, let the sun shine for me. Next time, when you work on yourself, the sun go shine for you, me, the cloud go over me. So every dog gets in there, everybody gets season. Till next week, I salute you by the grace of God. We go come back again. And I salute you. I say, I love you all. Remember, God is love. So Mr. Shillan, I hand it to you, sir. Thank you.
Well, same here. And I thank you for listening to we. Hope when I enjoy the show. We'll come back next week with some new ideas. I hope when I get something for suggest and propose to we for broadcast. So until then, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you day. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi guys. Good day to now. Today na Monday. What I did today? Today the 7th of December. Are they coming?
I said it, hold up 1 second, my people, because I want to watch this man, Dr. Toure. Dr. Toure, now an icon, now a person where we for try for copy. If every village copy in style, I think say it gets a model where they work. We for begin for implement and with villages. You know what Nigerians do? When they have things, they go to their father's villages and build them villages. And Mr. Toure, Dr. Toure, he's doing a fantastic job. He's making the life better for his people. He is doing the change he want to see. So we get forget him back. We don't get him before. We try for reach him. But I just want to watch this video. Let inspire. Now go with the week with this attitude. Go forth through this week with this attitude of Dr. Toure. So thank you, my people, again. I just want to watch him. Thank you. Good night.
Hi guys. Good day to now. Today na Monday. What I did today? Today the 7th of December. Are they the community? As you can see in the background, you know, the leper walk. This school leper do for make bricks them. This can bricks them. You see the bricks them? They were now for waiting. Them bricks here, so them blocks that's where they make. Now for can reconstruct my village. All hands on deck. Now the thing this way, I just want to do. I always talk say, I'm not going for build any nice house for myself. Where my people are not get nice house for sleep. So I get about 40 low-cost houses for build in my village for my people there. They were all my people there. You see, this is my small one. But you know, when I'm actually on the side. Huh? This one? It is truly one day. So you see, we all day now, so they make the blocks them for the village and for the all. I want to build hosting for them for using bricks that's not clay. Now real clay we use, you know. Now Roland Beach here we get over 50 tons of clay. So now we use the clay for construct 40 locust houses plus a police station, because police station is the whole of us chief them. So I want to build a police station for make we get a police post. Now this area for make crimes are reduced. Right now crimes are reduced, but yet again we need a police post. This me uncle here, Augustine, now I left for make user brick that's for make bakery. Why bakery? I want for me them picking and get free bread in the morning before they go to school. Then in the afternoon they get their lunch because I cook for them now at the school. So then bricks here, so we don't start the process this dry season. I want to make sure say the OCR so they come up and I get for build again quarters for my teachers in the village. 40 locust houses, now me target now, now me dream. Now everything I think about for making people that get nice place for live on, and then me go be the last person for make a build my own comfortable house. If I get for build more, otherwise I will not return. So now this video now already now sorry I already Mankine. Now Mankine of Roland Beach. Now this they go on right now. All the way. Just imagine this very short time. The bricks on the day now. All man ready. So if you get chance, can see what we do now. Mankine of Roland Beach. When I go with tell our names are quick. Augustine, Alusine, Mohammed, La Vista, John, Uncle Musa, Alusine, Uncle Samuel, Palamin, Uncle John. Hello, once ago. What a dolly. Macaulay. Come on. Macaulay income all the way South Bonamende in about East Don day which we in our community. And I did try for make sure say the people that don't go into tribalism. So we did try for get an inter-tribes community in my village. You know, we're not tribalistic, we transcend tribalism. And you know, you can get women around this area. Okay, you see, so in other words, inside for benefit from the locust houses, you know, and we build them for free for making a transfer into it. And after the locust housing, a hospital I will build, and then of course with GSS, my own community. So I like you now. And then I think this way, then I'm a heart, and I'm so happy for doing anything there. So when I watch my next videos, them with videos what they make, I for just try for advocate for social change. You know, I'll make when I follow up my videos. Then if I get a chance, I share them. You know, and any subsequent shows that I get for make the get takings. The sales of CDs, videos, all the go towards charity donation for help other people. Yeah? I love you guys. Mina Roland.
So that we go live good tomorrow.